Maybe now? Okay, we should be live, I think. Perhaps. Can you guys hear me? What's up, guys? Early breeze? Yes, I think by 30 seconds, something like that. It is early breeze. What is up, guys? Who's stronger, late breeze or Kaya breeze? That needs to be a poll. As a matter of fact, I should probably make a poll on Gojo soon. Oh god, what do I even feel like? Is Gojo live? Yes or no? Maybe I should start with that. Oh, this chat. Oh my god, this chat. There's so many theories. There's so many theories, guys. It's crazy. I can't believe he did it. Like, even if it's just an illusion, the fact that he even pulled this. He pulled this stunt, even as a cliffhanger. It's wild. It is absolutely insane. Like, JJK knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing. What's up, guys? Can you hear me? Gojo, hello? Hey, what's up? He stream, how are you? I think I meant to say hey stream. Hey, what's good, RM? Seven Sins, Dragon Hippo, Iki. Seems like my chat on my laptop is really behind. Oh my goodness. So I'll use my phone's laptop. My phone's chat is what I meant to say. Alright. Yeah, this chapter was crazy. Oh, it's catching up on my laptop too. Would you guys think about the Yuji in the background as well? Shout out Yuji. My main guy, Itadori Yuji. What's up, Salt Lord 4? Interesting name. Is that a Pokemon as your profile? I can't see. I think it's Pokemon or something. RIP Gojo. I mean, please on translation. I don't know what you mean please on translation, but you know. We got the translations. TCB is out. If Gojo comes back in any way, I'm never reading... We know that's not... Iki, we know that's not true, man. You'll be upset, but we know you're not gonna never read JJK again. Please on translations? What do you mean please on translation? What do you mean to do? Do you mean to show the translations? Is that what you're saying? I don't want to get striked. If it was Viz, I would show it. Because, you know, now it's officially out. It's officially licensed, and I pay for Viz, so I'd be more comfortable showing that. It's a bit risky showing this scans. I wouldn't mind Gojo coming back. We can talk about that in the stream. There's a lot to talk about in regards to... You know what? Why do I have Yuji as the background? I think I just wanted to put that because I really fucked with the new layout I found. You know, I've never used this before. Let me get the Gojo. Let me get Gojo right now. It's wild, man. Like, I cannot believe we are really living in a time when Gojo is... Like, he might really be back. Again, it's unlikely, but... I'm going to do... Oh, the Gojo thing should be messed up. Here we go. Now it should be good. Let me see how that looks on my OBS. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Where's the YouTube chat? Oh, the YouTube chat's not on the screen as well. It's bugging out. The only way to fix that is if I end the stream. I'm not doing that. That is unfortunate. Let me put my Stream Elements chat, which doesn't look as nice. I'm sorry, it doesn't look as nice on the screen as you can see, but at least there's chat. At least it's there. So hey guys, what's up? Please on subtitling? I'm not sure what you mean, man, but shout you. I don't know what you're asking, but shout out you. It could be Takaba. I mean, listen, there's 9 possibilities. Like I said, I think I put that as a title. I think. There's 9 possibilities on what's going on here. 3 of which, it's, you know, maybe it's not really Gojo. 6 of which... Oh my, 6 of which is like absolutely crackpot theories. Could be Takaba. I want to talk about that. Bro, if it's Takaba, like listen, Sukuna better pray it's Gojo in flesh and blood. Because if that's Takaba, like his curse technique in effect, Sukuna's done. It's wraps, man. It's over. Game over. Like, he is fully finished. Unless JJK nerfs Takaba, like, bro is... He's cooked beyond belief. Hey, Kevin Butler, thank you for subscribing. It's much appreciated, man. It is much appreciated. Granny from Shibuya reanimated Gojo. I mean, you know, that was one of my theories. Not the Granny, but... what's his name? Ino, specifically, because he's similar curse technique to her, both summoning things from different dimensions. She said it's similar to his. The concept is similar. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's not impossible that he tries to summon back the information on his soul. It's not impossible. It is not impossible. Can you on subtitle? Oh, that's what you're trying to say. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I think English isn't your first language. I'm very sorry. I don't think there's a way to do subtitles live. Like, maybe there's an application. That would be pretty cool if it exists. I think some news broadcasts like use it, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think YouTube does it live, unfortunately. You know what? I'll look into that for you. Next stream, I'll see if I can put subtitles live. That's a good suggestion, but I can't do it now. Sorry about that. The cat will put the biggest troll. Trust me, I have a line to him. So I'm seeing in the chat. You know what? How about I make the poll? You know, let's make the poll first before I even say anything. Not Q&A. God, no. Let's do start a poll. Alright, what should I say? Is it really Gojo or Ghost Joe. I mean, I guess it's Gojo, but we don't know if it's like an illusion, a ghost, if he's really there, you know. Real Gojo. Oh my god. Ghost Joe. Gege. Clickbait. Alright. Stop poll. Alright, let's see what you guys think. Alright, so where do I even start? There's so much to talk about. By the way, is it not crazy how, what's his name? Like, Todo and Yuji, their entire thing was undercut, I feel like. Nobody's even talking about it. I feel like I've got a few tweets, like, from people online talking about Todo's arm thing. You know, the instrument that he has in his arm. Other than that, people aren't really talking about that much. Hey, kill Onzo, man. That's sweet as fuck. I hope you're doing well too, man. I hope you're doing good. It's Gojo back with a binding vow. You know what? Should I just start with the theories? You know, I'll start with the theories. Alright, I'll start early. And deep into the stream, like 30 minutes, an hour on, I'll like re-say them when more people come through. I'll just say early for you guys here. Because I really want, there's so much I want to talk about. I don't even know where to start, alright? But I'll talk about the theories. So first of all, let me see what the poll is saying. Wow, it is split. It is really split, 50-50. You know what, let me know what you guys think, actually. Do you guys really think it's Gojo? Or do you think it's illusion? Obviously, myself, I'm leaning towards it being an illusion. It's very similar to One Piece, when, if you guys remember the anime or the manga, when Oden came back, that was much more obvious, I would say. That was far more obvious it's a fake. Obviously, Oden couldn't have come back, because there's so many things around it that disproved it actually being Oden. Shout out Oden as well, Chaden, one of the goats. I mean, if I'm back, Gojo's back. It's a ghost. Let's Gojo. A vision, in my opinion. Okay. Gojo's back, stronger than ever. Hey, Boku no Color, good to see you as one of the goated artists. What's up, my guy? Seems like an apparition of Gojo, about to laugh in his face. That's what else. That was one of the possibilities. Right, of the sixth. No, that's the ghost one actually. But let me just see what you guys think first. Yuji said no words. To be fair, it's not facing at Yuji, so Yuji is not looking in its direction. I saw people saying that. You know what, let me open TCB now. I'll do that now. You know, should I show it? Oh my god. It's because it is risky to show before this comes out. I have the page right here. Yeah, Yuji's... It's a bit tough. You know, who's even saying domain expansion? That's what we have to talk about as well. Let me take a snapshot with a snipping tool, and I'll put that on screen right now. Yuji could notice next chapter, so I don't... Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm thinking as well. The only issue is if it was Gojo saying domain expansion, why didn't Yuji turn and look that way? Because some people think it's Gojo who said domain expansion, which at first I thought was stupid, but now that the scans are out, I think that's very likely. Like, I genuinely think Gojo being the one to have said domain expansion is likely. Let me save this as Ghost Joe in my photos, and I'll put that on. Now I can put that on stream. Let's add a... Where is it? Image. Nice. I feel like I'm an old man. Oh my god, I'm only 22. I say that. I say only. Oh my god. I'm getting old, guys. Alright, create new. Browse. Alright. Remember how Yuji mistook Yuta for Gojo? I mean, the issue is that, like, we know it's Gojo, by the way. Like, for absolute fact, whether it's an illusion, a ghost, or if it's really him, we know it's not Yuta, not Inumaki, it's Gojo. Because the editor said, you know, those eyes, it's undeniable, there's no mistaking it. And also, the narrator says that it's the strongest ghost. Obviously, that's tied to Gojo and Sukuna only. So, it's gotta be, like, whether it's really him or not is what's up for debate. But who's standing there, it's no doubt it's Gojo. Like, I think everyone in the chat should agree, like, the person standing there is Gojo. The only, again, debate is, you know, illusion, ghost, really him, cursed object, incarnation, you know, binding vow, what's really going on. That's the thing that I think is up for debate. So sorry, I'm trying to find the picture I just took a screenshot of. where is my JJK? Oh my god, I have so many folders. JJK, there it is. And I will search Ghost Joe. Alright, let's put that up. There we go. I think you guys can see it, right? Look at this. Alright, I will put that here. I don't want to cover up Gojo's thingy too much. Here we go, like this. Alright. What's up? Hey, what's good? What's good? Soma, hey, good to see you, Shomar, as well. So Yuta awakened 6 eye. Okay. I mean, listen, that would be utterly insane if that happened. I mean, I would love it for the sake of the Yuta 6 Eyes theory that I got mocked for. I would love it, but I think that it is 0.01% chance of that happening. What will your opinion on Chapter 236 be? You know, I talked about that. Funny enough, I've spoken about that in a recent video. Let me get a video for you. Which is really funny because recently I made videos about Gojo coming back and he just happened to come back. It's purely coincidental, of course. I mean, I couldn't have predicted truly he's going to come back soon after. Let me share my screen. Go to big monitor. Alright, I love the Navi music as well. I hope you guys like it as well. The picture's kind of blocking. Hopefully the picture doesn't block what I want to show. It is blocking it. Damn it, I have to hide the picture for a second. Alright, so funny enough, so in this video, from a month ago, I briefly talked about it. And in this one, which some of you may have not seen because I had a lot less views in that one. I mean, actually, statistically, even though obviously it's not true, I can check the analytics, like most people who watch down subscribed, but statistically, because I have 21k, so at least everyone should have seen it, but it's not the case. This video, I talk about that in this video. That question you just asked, like, if Gojo comes back, what does that do for JJK 236? What is the consequence of it? Does it hurt that chapter? Does it boost? It's not gonna boost it, but and just obviously I'm not gonna make you rewatch the video. Alright, I'm not that scummy. I'll tell you now. Basically, what I say in this video from a month ago is that okay, you know what? I should actually give some context. Let me go down to the older video because I did talk about what it would do for Gojo's character. And once I finish talking about the character aspect, I'll actually talk about the 9 theories. I'll get into that because we got enough people. You know, it's been like. How long have we been live? 10 minutes? You know, we got almost 100 people. Let me talk about this first though, like if it's good or bad writing. So in Gojo Past, as you can see, like this was the chapter, and then very soon after I made this video. Funny enough, at the time, it didn't get that many views. Like it was doing pretty poorly, but it grew over time. And it's still growing. It's one of those ones like, I guess longevity, it performs well. In this video, I say that Gojo shouldn't come back, and I still stand by it for the time. Because you have to remember, this was just after Gojo died. Like, this is during, I don't even think the official chapter had come out at the time. This was like, after the TCP had come out. And my point was, I didn't want it to take away from the shine of the main students, right? This is the biggest point. I do think it affecting JJK 236 is a point. I think it's a valid criticism. But the biggest point that I thought he shouldn't have come back was that I wanted all of the students to get their shot. I wanted Yuta to get a shot, Maki to get a shot. Akari, he's never getting a shot, man. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at Akari. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I wanted everyone to get their shot, right? So, you know, we got Yuta, Maki, Yuji, and obviously everyone else, like Ino, people unexpected. Kusakabe, we got Choso, Miguel LaRue, like, so many people got their shot. So the Akari thing is making me laugh. So many people got their shot on Sukuna, which was what I wanted, and that was my biggest pushback against having Sukuna come back. That was the biggest one. And it's sort of been addressed. I mean, we've had Yuta go full power, we've had Maki fight him one-on-one for an extended period of time, and then we've had her fight Sukuna again. We've had Yuji fight Sukuna, I think like 5 times with multiple different people. Like, we've had everybody have their go at Sukuna. So, for that reason, the biggest reason I didn't want Gojo to come back, and the most valid point, I feel like has been addressed. Which is, Gojo coming back takes away the spotlight from the students. The students have had their spotlight. Now there's like another concern now, right? It's still really bad if this happens. If Gojo comes back, what about Miwa? True, I cannot forget about the GOAT Miwa, man. Miwa, I told you, man, they underestimated Miwa. They called her useless. I mean, she called herself useless Miwa. But she stepped up, alright? She stepped up. Love to see it, you know. She stepped up for Akari. It is what it is. But 261 Akari watch. I mean, bro, we've been saying that I think like 10 chapters now. But anyway, I don't want to slander Akari. Alright, that's not what I'm here to do. Even though I love it. It gives me life. What was I saying? Right. The biggest issue that could still happen is if Gojo takes away the spotlight from Yuji. Now, if Gojo, and I'll talk about this later, but I'll briefly touch upon it now. If he comes back nerfed because of a binding vow, or like he's lost an eye, whatever reason, if he comes back nerfed, and it's more so a duo role of Yuji, I think that is 1,000 times better than it just being Yuji alone. And I just think that's true. I think Yuji shines brighter when there's other people around him. Like Yuta and Yuji, I thought was awesome. Yuji alone, when I can't even lie, Yuji alone is still like godlike. When you hear those 6 black flashes, 7, sorry, it was amazing. And then Yuji with Todo, I feel like is excelling. Like, Todo is making Yuji shine even more. What I'm trying to say is if Gojo comes back as a duo/support and he's not going to be the one to finish off Gojo, because I think it has to be Yuji. I'm going to talk about this in Restless Gambler's video he's going to have soon. I won't spoil that now though. I'll spoil that video. But I feel like as long as Yuji's the one to finish Sukuna off, then I'm okay with it. It shouldn't be Gojo because narratively, thematically, like the history between them, like emotionally, it's all tied between Yuji and Sukuna. It's those two. It has to be Yuji to be him. If Gojo comes back as a support or even duo, I think that would be awesome as long as Yuji's the one to bury him into the ground. It wouldn't take away from Yuji's spotlight in my opinion. Because if Yuji was fighting Sukuna one-on-one the whole time, and then Gojo came in to help, that would have been horrendous, right? I'll say it now, that would have been horrendous. But the fact that Yuji has 1v50'd Sukuna, like, what difference does it make if Gojo comes in? Like, oh, we're gonna be upset Yuji got help? He's already gone. So, like, in that aspect, as long as Yuji's the one to finish him, it won't take away from his win at all. Because if you're saying Gojo helping him takes away from his win, I mean, he's gotten help from Todo, Kusakabe, Yuta, Maki, LaRue, Miguel. I mean, he wouldn't have hit the first Black Flash without LaRue, would have been dead without Yuta. I mean, Higuruma greatly helped him. Kusakabe stalled him for a long time when Yuji needs to heal. Choso saved his life. He would have been dead if not for Choso. Todo also gave him his will back. So in that aspect, that's why I'm seeing a lot of people say, oh, Gojo coming back is going to ruin it for Yuji. It's just incorrect. Like, for a fact, absolutely incorrect. Like, 100%. Unless Gojo's the one to finish him, that's fair. But just saying Gojo coming back and helping is going to ruin it for Yuji, like, if that's the case, Yuji's fight has already been ruined for you. Because he's had help from 50k. He would have been dead not for Yuta. He would have been dead not for Choso. He would have been dead not for Todo. Like, I mean, he's like help. LaRue helped him. Miguel. Again, so in that aspect, when you see people saying that's the reason Gojo's comeback is bad, they're just wrong. Absolutely. What's fair criticism is saying like it'll affect his death. I think that's the fairest criticism for saying Gojo shouldn't come back. That is what I think would be considered, in quotes, I'll say like bad writing. Right? I'll touch upon that now. Sorry, I was going on quite a tangent. Not a tangent, it's the main point. And I got a lot more to say, but I got to touch on to Justin Williams, $10. Much love, man. It is much appreciated. I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. Absolutely go it. Thank you very much. So Justin Williams says, so I've been researching Buddhism and clues throughout the series, and I think I've discovered the origin of Jujutsu and Sukuna, which is, by the way, before I read the rest of it, true. Like, for a fact, there is so much tied to Buddhism and JJK. I mean, it was outright said Tengen was preaching Buddhism in the Nara period. Everything to do with Tengen is Buddhism. We saw, what was that thing called? Shimbutsu ritual, mummification, Buddhism tied there. I think, actually. Don't quote me on that. I think it's tied to Buddhism. I'm like 8% sure. You know, the Honoured One line, like for heaven and earth, honor, I think that's tied to Buddhism as well. Some of the domain, I think a lot of the domain hand signs tied to Buddhism. So JJK, a lot of influence there. That's true. So to continue what you said, I think I've discovered the origin of Jujutsu and Sukuna and how JJK will end. Link me, I think LMK means link me up, right? I think so. If you're interested to connect and hear more. Yeah, for sure. If you just tweet at me, just tweet it, and then just don't donate there, just because I don't want to force you to donate again. Just tweet it, and then in the chat, just put your @. Don't link your Twitter, because Twitter's not, it's not going to let you link your Twitter. Or put links in. Just tell me your @ and I'll read what you got to say. That sounds pretty interesting, I can't lie. But okay, I gotta talk about the Kenjaku. I'll talk about that later though, when I talk about the 9 theories. I got some theories on that. I got some crazy theories on that. You can't take Yuji's spotlight at this point. Yuji's locked in. Gojo got logged off. It will affect the reader's attention, but not in the story. What I specifically mean is, you can't take Yuji's spotlight. Yeah, I agree with that, to be honest. No, I agree with that. Yuji's locked in. As long as Gojo's not the one to finish him. I agree, like, if Gojo's the one to finish Sukuna, okay, now we got a problem. Like, we got a big issue on our hands. But if Gojo is going to play the same role that Yuta played, that Todo played, that Choso played, I'd say Todo is the best one. Or Yuta. Like, if he plays the same role that Yuta played, but it would be more even because Yuji's way stronger than he was when he was fighting with Yuta at that time, because Yuji's on a different level since then I think that would be like pretty fair. My hero is not in the same conversation as JJK. I just think they're two different series. The issue of comparing My Hero and JJK I've always had, it's so wildly different thematically in terms of what the author's trying to teach you. Obviously, like I just said, the themes of the story that the author's created, the very world itself, like it's so different. I feel like there's no point of even comparing them, in my opinion. I've never understood that. I love them both. I truly, truly love both those stories. But yeah, so like I was saying, sorry, what was I talking about? Let me make sure I miss Justin's. Oh, okay. No, that's not what I'm saying. They are too different. Wait, they are too different. Wait. Oh, you're saying you can't. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying Gojo got logged off. It will affect. Oh, you're saying like Gojo coming back would affect the Yuji spotlight. Is what you're saying. You're saying like everyone would focus on Gojo. Is that? If I'm not mistaken, is that what you're saying? Whoa, my phone fell. Is that what you're saying? Oh, you're saying something else. But in terms of what was I saying? Actually, wait here. That's not Gojo. It's Kenjaku. Okay, you know what? I'll finish this Gojo point off here when I hear what Bokuno is saying for sure. Then I'll get into the theories. I want to get into that. But yeah, in terms of the writing, just to briefly finish that part of this at least video, I'll touch upon that later in the video as well. But I think it wouldn't be as bad as it could have been if he comes back at this point. And I think people automatically saying bad writing. Assuming it's really Gojo, it's bad writing. I think that's not fair at all. If Gojo comes back and takes Yuji's spotlight, and he's the one to finish Gojo off, Sukuna off, where he plays the way bigger role than Yuji, and then I think at that point, I think it's fair. But until we read that, then I don't think it's fair. And I think more likely than not, because I think Gojo would be nerfed if it's him, but I think that's less likely. Then of course, then I think that would be fair. Of course, like how it would affect JJK 236, I think that's something we touched upon earlier on as well, how I think someone said like it would affect that chapter. I can't lie, like that's fair. I feel like reading, I'll even open up Viz here, Shonen Jump, Shower Viz as well. I mean, Shower Viz, but not shouting out John Wary. I'm never shouting John Wary out. Let's get 236 here. I can't deny, like there's just no, I wish it weren't the case, but it's just true. Like it would affect 236. You know? Like I don't want to say this, but it's just the truth. Like when I read this, and it's like this is really Gojo's last moment. Like whether you think the off-screening or the death itself was bad, different conversation. Like completely different. As for the afterlife part, right? We get to see Gojo in the afterlife, Geto, Haibara, talking about like North. I won't lie though, it is foreshadowed that he might come back. The whole like flower, blooming flower, north, right. If you go to south, north, right. Sorry, south, north is what I should have said. It does foreshadow it. I won't say it's bad in that aspect, but I'm not saying it's bad per se, but I'm saying the impact of 236 would be very weakened. That's what I should say. I'm not saying it's bad writing, but I'm saying the writing of 236 would be not nearly as strong. Like reading this, knowing Gojo comes back, it's not. It's just the truth. I don't even want to admit it, but it's how it is. I feel like that's the only fair criticism, other than Gojo Gojo just coming in, and like Yuji barely does anything. So, here we go. This is what Bokuno comes down. I'm saying the audience is focused on Gojo. That's true. But right now, it's Yuji's time in the story. I agree. I agree. Like Gojo coming back, especially like what you're saying is just true because Todo just kicked at Todo in this chapter was insane. I'll talk about Todo later. But bro, we are like 25 minutes, it's nearly half an hour in, and I haven't spoken a word of I said Todo's masterclass, but I haven't even spoken about him fighting, which was 99.9% of this chapter. It is undeniable that Gojo coming back would take spotlight from Yuji, I think, in the moment, but I think how he actually performs, sure, I think for the next chapter it would affect it, but I truly feel like as if Gege executes it well, you might change your mind. That's what I feel like Boku no Kara. If Gege says Gojo's back, but he's missing an eye, Jujutsu a Binding Vow, can't control his curse technique as well, he's not nearly as strong, and he's doing bits, but he's just supporting Yuji, and Yuji's still really highlight. Yuji's a massive focus. It's still Yuji hitting the black flashes like it just was with Todo. I feel like if that were to happen, then I feel like maybe you change your mind. But I can't deny though what you're saying. What you're saying could happen though, for sure. If he does bring Gojo back and Gojo's the highlight, okay, then we have a big issue. Then I feel like that's bad writing. If he comes back and he's taking the spotlight, but I know what you mean. You're saying naturally Gojo would take it, right? But I still feel like after that one chapter of Gojo being back, if you just put in not as a background, but As long as Gege focuses on Yuji, I feel like he never, like, how do I say this? The attention would never fully go to Gojo. It would always be on Yuji. I feel like Yuji has more motion than Gojo. Sometimes I know it feels like Gojo has more motion than Yuji, but like I can promise you from it, because I've really researched the analytics of Yuji, all JJK characters like Yuji, Yuta, Gojo, on Twitter, on YouTube, but mainly those two. But especially on YouTube, people care more about Yuji. I know it seems like people care more about Gojo, it seems more vocal, but in terms of what people actually pay the most attention to and want to see, it's Yuji, at least. So as long as Yuji's the focus, I feel like we're good, but of course, like, it could turn out badly, you know, like we were talking about, so you never know. M3D, always appreciate supporting the channel, man. Much love, it's much appreciated, man. It's absolutely going. Appreciate it, 5. As someone who has issues of Gojo getting off screen, I think his character conclusion is beautiful. I hope he doesn't come back. I agree. Like, I feel like, and I remember I said this on No Operator stream, and yeah, I got a lot of hate for it. A lot of hate for it. But I like consider those two separate things. Gojo's actual off-screening and this chapter is two completely different things. I think 236 is like an absolute masterclass. I think it's like probably one of the best chapters in JJK. Standalone. I have to clarify, the chapter alone. The issue people have with it is what we didn't see beforehand, which I don't attach to this chapter specifically. I kind of keep this as a standalone. Gojo getting off screen, him never showing that very moment, and just the absolute... I hate that so much. I've never like hidden that fact. I utterly hate Gojo getting off screen. Even if it was just 2 pages. You know, fuck it. 1 page. Give me 1 page of Sukuna like cutting Gojo in half. Like him actually doing it. I'm good. I'm good. You know what? That's not even anticlimactic. You could have drawn like a double-page spread. I am fine with it. The fact that it was just probably the most important moment in the entire series was not shown is a joke. But I don't think that has anything to do with this very chapter itself though. I feel like what it's more like is we're just missing an in-between chapter. I feel like that's what's happening. But I know like most people intertwine their hatred for Gojo getting off screen for 236. They attach it to that, which I don't do. I just don't understand. Like, this chapter alone, I think it's like phenomenal. And it's not undeniable, as M3D was saying, again, thanks to the fire. Yeah, it's just true. It's true. It would affect how I would look back on this chapter, like knowing Gojo is alive. Like, you know how insane it is to see like this was Gojo in his last moments? Bro, this is crazy. Look at him. Look. Look. You know what I mean? Like this is Gojo. This is like Gojo, bro. Look at this. And if he's alive, like, okay, you know what? I guess the moment's still pretty crazy, but it's not as impactful. It is what it is. Now, let me see what you guys are saying. Sorry, sometimes when I just start speaking, I just don't even see it. I actually don't see the chat. Because if I read the chat, I'll get distracted. I'll not finish what I want to say. Also, what are your thoughts on Heian Era backstory? Oh man, I pray to God. I pray to like, obviously, every single god out there that has ever existed. I pray to all of them. I pray. Please come back. Please. Heian Era flashback is like what I'm talking about. If we don't get a Heian Era flashback, that will be a war crime. That will be a crime against you. Like, you will see me, like, you might see me in the news, man. That's all I'll say. If JJK ends and we don't get the Heian Era flashback, like, YouTuber Kaio Breeze in the news for something crazy. Like, absolutely wow. Like, bro, that is all I'll say. We better get that, man. We better get that Heian Era flashback. If anything, Megumi and Yuji need to carry the squad moving forward. Gojo doesn't need to come back. I mean, yeah, because the next generation should take over after Gojo. But I feel like, that's like a whole different kind of one. I feel like there's good arguments for both. That's a pretty good one. Like, in terms of the aspect, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I don't think. Especially, it depends. If Gojo comes back nerfed, okay, then it's perfectly fine because he's not the strongest anymore. Like, Yuji and Yuta and all these guys would surpass him. Megumi as well, definitely. As long as they're alive, of course. That's the biggest question here. Heian Era flashback is like #1 thing the community has asked for. It needs to happen, man. 6 heavenly... Oh, I think you mean the 5 void generals. Wait, 6 heavenly generals and void knights. What do you mean? Wait. Like, the sun and moon and the void generals. That's what you mean. right? The 5 Void Generals. Who are the 6 Heavenly Generals? I think they're the 5 Void Generals. They mix up names. Yeah, we need to see it, bro. We need to see it. I don't even want to see fight. I can't lie. No, I want to see that fight where everyone versus Sukuna. I need to see that. Like, I just need it. But it's not. I just want to see the lore. I want to see the Heian Era. I want to see the characters around it. Like Kenjaku, who he's up to, Tengen, the history between. I want to see it all, man. Like Sukuna growing up, the clan. I just want to see all. Like the 3 big clans. Well, not 3 big clans. The many big clans back then. You know, it is what it is. Gege gave up with the Fujiwara. The thing is, like, Gege did say that this is pretty wild as well. He outright said this, right? So I'm quoting him right here, bit paraphrasing, but obviously this is what he said. Like, he has thought of the beginning, the most important things that all the most important plot points that need to happen in the middle of JJK and the ending of JJK. He knows those things. However, the entire journey of JJK, he's making up as he goes. Like, the actual middle parts, like, he is just going with the flow. And he says that because of this, he adds, like, he thinks of a lot of interesting concepts, and there's a lot of things he wants to add. So, like, obviously we saw, like, the 10 Commandments, the entire, everything related to the Heian Era, like, the link between Kenjaku and Tengen, everything, like, there. And there's just so much, like, the big clan, there's so much that he has written into the story that he never touched upon because of this writing style that he has. Like, he even says it's an issue himself. It's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Like, it does explain why it's the case. Oda would never. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. That's all I can say. Hey, Heavy Weather, good to see you as well. Some say, alright, what's good, my man? Go with YouTube, what's good? Hey, M3D, I appreciate it once again, man. I appreciate the 5. I appreciate you on the channel, man. Much love, man. Much love. Nah, bro, because Gege telling how Sukuna won versus Utehime. Versus Ultimate Jumping felt empty. From the whole squad, we only knew Udo. Yeah, you know, let me get that, let me hide my screen for a second. I'll get the thread as well where I fully break down what happened, where is the big monitor? I'll just get the tweet up, because I made a full thread, and I'll go over it now. And, okay, then I'll get into the 9 theories. I really need to get into these, like, the whole point of the stream. I'll get into that now, after this one point. I just keep getting sidetracked. Let me go to Kaio Breeze. Alright, here we go. From Kaio Breeze, and then I'll just do thread, because I'm pretty sure that's what I put in the main tweet, thread. Oh, that's not how you spell Kaio Breeze. I misspelled my own name. That is, oh my goodness, that is not how you spell it. Let me show my screen though. This is what I'm doing. Kaio Breeze, that is how you spell it. Caitlyn, why is Caitlyn trending? Latest, let's go down. Kari, here we go. All right, oh, no, this one. Here we go, there, this one. So, I can't lie, because people say, like, this is just empty stats, this means nothing. This means an insane amount. I think this is absolutely crazy in terms of what it means, so I'll briefly break it down. Like, so there's a thread explaining why this is super impressive and showing us just how much of a monster Sukuna is. And again, mind you, like all things, there's going to be a lot of assumptions and speculations given the lack of almost any information. I don't know why I spelled information, don't know why I said that, but these are just my interpretations so far. So obviously, here's the page. Don't go to the Viz is horrible. It was in this form wielding, oh, is the chat blocking it, by the way? Or no, the chat is like, man, the chat, I can't even lie, the chat is garbage. Do you guys want me to remove the chat? Because the YouTube chat that I normally put is broken. It's just not working, unfortunately. I could fix it, but I need to close the stream. But the chat on the screen is like kind of ugly. Hey, Alonzi, what is good, my guy? Good to see you. Good to see you, my guy. What's up? What's up? But, alright, to break this down. It was in this form wielding the pair of cursed tools, Kamutoki and Hiten, that Sukuna annihilated the elite celestial squad and 5 void generals who served under the Fujiwara Hokage branch and repelled the forces of the Abe clan's Desichin, I think that's how you say it, squad, including Angel, right, Angel, and the remnants of the Sugawara clan, which is wild because this sort of implies, like, it's like, not a good implication, but it sort of implies Gojo was the one who killed Sugawara. It's pretty crazy. It could be possible that... there's so many theories in regards to this. Michizane Sugawara, because there's so much stuff. Because, like, light novels have him at least as strong as Gojo, if not stronger. Like, it's wild, man. So if Sukuna killed him, that's crazy. Unless, I mean, it's possible that the free someone else killed him, and then Sukuna just took care of the rest of the Sugawara clan, and that's why the remnants took care after him. Sukuna, you mean, right? Yes, Sukuna in the Heian Era. Did they run away? He repelled them. It pretty much means like he fucked them up, and whoever was left alive got out and dodged. We know Udo survived, like for a fact. We know she survived because like she made the deal with Kenjaku. If she died there, Kenjaku wouldn't have made the deal with her. Right. The first is that Heian level just generally was on a different level compared to the modern day. Like, bro, we have people who aren't even high up in the food chain, like Udo and Urume, who, like, these guys are just either servants or high-level soldiers. Like, Udo is just a high-level soldier, an assassin. And she's special grade level. Do you know how insane that is? Like, if Udo was in the modern day, the amount of clout she would have, like, a big clan would fear her. Any of the big three clans would absolutely fear her. Whereas back in the day, she was just an elite soldier, like one of many of one clan, and she was disposable. Like, they literally put up to execution. Like, it's crazy. The gap between the modern day and the past is insane. And obviously, like, the modern day special grades are very close, if not like as strong, I would say, like as we're witnessing, as the a Heian Era top tier. I wouldn't say, that's not true. Like, I wouldn't say Yuta and Akari and Makio, they're definitely not Heian Era top tier. They're just absolutely not. I would say, because a lot of the times I say Urume's Heian Era top tier, I mean like they're really high tier. Because in my opinion, I think there's 5 tiers to the Heian Era, and the second highest is where I would put Yorozu, and I guess I would put Urume there. I mean, no, not Urume, sorry. Yeah, Urume, that's the person I'm talking about. So Urume is a lot stronger than Udo. In terms of like high tier Heian Era, I think the absolute top of the Heian Era, so these like clan heads of the day back then, or the free vengeful spirits, these guys are approaching Gojo and Sukuna level. Like, those guys are monstrous. So yeah, like nobody in the modern day is even close to that. They're not even remotely close to like the highest of the Heian Era. But at least, like, I would say top tier of the Heian Era is what I should say. Like, then yeah, I would say Yuta, Hakari, and Maki on that level. But you have to realize back then there were a plethora of sorcerers on that level. Like, now in the modern day we only have like 4, 5, not even 5. But back then it was just like, it was in abundance for some reason. Like, it's crazy. It's genuinely crazy, right? So just generally, like, if you're saying an elite Heian sorcerer, like, it's special grade, at least. Oh, I just clicked that accent. I don't even know who this is. Let me go back. Oh, is that baseball? What the hell's going on? Okay, here we go. The Sun, Moon, and 5 empty generals are powerful too. Udo just being one of the many members a captive, right? 2 squads comprised of elite Heian sorcerers. Though again, keep in mind, Yorozu, a much weaker version of Yorozu, a young, weak version of Yorozu, she beat the 5 void generals in a 1v5. That's fucking crazy. I don't use that to downplay them again. Since Yorozu's been introduced, you can check my videos, I've always thought Yorozu's top tier. Like, I genuinely believe she would dominate, like, Sendai Yuta, Hakari when he's flying Kasha. I genuinely, wholeheartedly believe, like, she would utterly dominate. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say, this clip is gonna get me crucified, man. Like, this take of mine is gonna get me, like, absolutely butchered. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I should say it. Like, no, this is very crazy. You know what? All I'm saying is, like, she has a good chance of being Yuta, Yorozu, not Yorozu. Yorozu a good chance of beating Yuta, Udo, and Ryu in a fight, like in a, what is it, 3v1? I genuinely think she has a good chance. But this is Sendai Yuta. If we're talking about present Yuta, I actually think Yuta's stronger than her now. By a bit. Like, I think the gap between Yuta now and Yuta then is like astronomical. I think it is. Listen, guys, I know it is a crazy take. I know, guys. I know. Listen, I know it's crazy, guys. I know it's crazy. I'm saying about domain list, bro. I'm saying about her domain. Hey, enemy stand user, good to see you, my guy. You get an interesting time. I'll put on Kai's preaching Yorozu. You know, man, it is. Listen, I see the emoji. I love Yorozu. It is. She's top tier. It is what it is. She's strong. She beat 5 people close to, or at least these 5 are close to Udo's level in a 5v1 when she was weaker. Like, this was when she had lack of experience, lack of, like, knowledge and resources, and she was just generally younger. It is, like, how she performed with 15-fingered Sukuna is even though it didn't use Cleanest Mantle, he just used 10 Shadow. Even just then, 10 Shadow, like, it is phenomenal. She got low diffed, but it's phenomenal. Sukuna doesn't even use Curse Technique to one-shot like most people, when he's not, like, nerfed 50 trillion times. But, yeah, like, when we're talking about Yuta now, I hope you guys, I want to clarify this. Like, obviously, I think Yuta now is a bit stronger than Yorozu. I think, like, that is a fight between current Yuta and Yorozu would be, like, I think that would be one of the best fights in JJK. I think Yuta would come out on top, though. I definitely think he would come out on top. Like, for sure. Actually, nah, I was saying, like, likely, I think it's very likely. Yuta wins right now. Like, absolutely. Because the gap between Yuta now and that is just, like, crazy, guys. You guys have no idea how much stronger Yuta is now. Like, partially manifested Rika is stronger than fully manifested Rika from back then. It is crazy. Base Yuta from now would, like, dog walk, like, base Yuta now, if you put him up against base Yuta pre-time skip or Sendai, like, that is the most disgusting, like wash I've ever seen. Like, it is insane. You know, it's just wild, like, how much stronger Yuta's, all of them, to be honest, like, everyone's gone. Which, you know, I did predict, let me find that video. This video at the time, look at this, 5 months ago, got so much backlash, because as you can see, this was, after Yuta, like, took Kenjaku's head. So this was before we knew about the reinforcement buff, before we knew everyone got stronger. It's hilarious because I put this video out, I specifically say, everyone's gone stronger, like, everyone's gone way, like, next level. Everyone, like, reinforcement, everything's increased drastically. People disagree, saying you're crazy, you're wrong, there's no evidence for this. Next chapter, Sukuna says, everyone's reinforcement, no, it's two chapters after. He says, yeah, everybody's reinforcements improved, they're way stronger. And then, yeah, I just, like, everyone who was shitting on this video just got proven hilariously wrong. And then the more we went on, the worse it got for them, because we got to fight, like, it was not, like, just them getting a reinforcement was an understatement. Like, Yuji got curse techniques, Yuta stacked up more, reinforcements off the roofs, like, everyone got reverse curse techniques, simple domain, Yuta, like, is way stronger now as well, like, output's increased. Like, what I was saying in this video, that I got, like, shit on for, because I said everyone's gotten way, way, way stronger, ended up being an understatement, even. Because they even got stronger than I thought they would. It was wild, guys, like, trust me. It's crazy though, isn't it? Like, they really did get so much stronger over that 1 month. I guess it makes sense of the Uyui theory. Not theory now, just fact, but I can't even imagine what it would have been like if they didn't have that Uyui training. Like, Uyui soul swap. They would have been cooked. I'm not even kidding, they all would have been dead by now. If not for Memi and Uyui, they all would have been dead. But, oh my god, I think I went on the biggest tangent possible. Holy shit, like, wait, how big of a tangent was this? I mean, the whole, like, I think it was like an 8-minute tangent. The whole, because me going over the whole, like, Sukuna and the Heian Era thing is a tangent in and of itself. It was like an 8-minute tangent within a tangent. But you know, I think it's interesting. I hope you guys find it interesting too. I'll finish this though. Again, I just think Yorozu's strong. The whole point of what I'm saying is, like, not to downplay the 5 void or empty generals. I just think Yorozu is, in general, really, 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 really strong. Like, she is, I would put, like, Udo, Udo's, because she was the captain, but that doesn't necessarily mean she was the strongest, but she was still the captain of at least the Sun and Moon, and the 5 void generals sound strong, depending on how many people are on the Sun and Moon. If the Sun and Moon is a squad that comprises of 10 to 20 people, then the 5 void generals are at least as strong, if not stronger than Udo individually. But if the Sun and Moon is like 5 people as well, or even less, then Udo, it's like this whole complicated thing. Like, it's, I'm sure most of you haven't even thought about this like that much, but there's a lot that goes into it, and we'll never truly know until we get to see this fucking squad, right? But we can theorize on it. Anyway, it's important to know that the Angel was a part of the jumping too, as well as Angel's squad, the Desi, how do you say it? So Abe squad, like, a part of the Abe clan, Desi-chin, yeah, I think that's how I say it. I'm probably mispronouncing it. Squad. And mind you, this isn't Hana, this is the Angel themselves. Like, this isn't Hana with no experience, no knowledge, like, just everything's an experience. Like, this is Angel, hand form, full, like, experience of their technique, knows how to use it, utilizing it to its peak, and just absolute mastery at Jujutsu. Like, so Sukuna had to deal with this, the entire time. Like, it's not like with it was even worse like compared to Yuta, because at least with Yuta you can counter a simple domain, while Sukuna was fighting Angel during this time, because Angel doesn't need a domain to do it. It's not sure hit. Simple domain is not gonna counter it. It's not. It might help, I guess. Like, actually no, because he doesn't have new shadow style. That's what new shadow style does. Hollow Wicker Basket, as far as I know, doesn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't function the same as new shadow style. Complete. Like, generally, no. They function very differently. Like, there's similar aspects to it in terms of countering a domain, but outside of a domain, they're drastically different. New shadow style is better. It's not going to be like with Kusakabe, who like nullified some of the damage of Cleanest Mantle. Hollow Wicker Basket, as far as it's been a while since I looked into it, but as far as I remember, is not going to nullify. No, negate is not the right term. Nullifies, which actually they're both wrong, isn't it? Like, it's not going to weaken the damage. That's what I should be saying, right? So he has no way of blocking. He has to deal with like full power Angel while he's getting jumped by like 50 trillion dudes. This is like crazy, alright? What Sukuna's dealing with at the time. And the Angel seems to be included under the Abe clan too, which makes sense, since the Abe clan had massive power during the Heian era. And again, shout out Wikipedia. I'm not gonna like lie to you guys and say I'm some. Oh, I just clicked on by accident. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say I'm some expert on Japanese history. Man, Wikipedia and general googling like carried me hard, right? So shout out Wikipedia. Purely speculation based on the real history, but this Abe clan, the Sichin squad, it should have been monstrous. Like, because like when I was looking like through just Google searches of like people writing about this, and mainly Wikipedia, like really helpful as well, because that also like links their sources, which I can go back on. It really hypes up the Abe clan's power back in the Heian era. Like, they were really influential and very powerful. So if we're translating that speculation, but based on real history, to JJK, then that was like a really powerful squad. If we're saying like the top tier of the Abe clan, which had Angel. I mean, Angel is a part of it, so it speaks volumes in itself. And last but not least, the remnants of the Sugawara clan, and this is hard to gauge how powerful the sorcerers were. The Sugawara clan I should have said that, was is wrong. The Sugawara clan were extremely powerful during the Heian era, but these are just the remnants, so they could be like average Heian or elite Heian, we don't know. If they're elite Heian, that's crazy though. And of course, so this is the conclusion I came to. At the bare minimum, Sukuna was fighting at least, this is the bare minimum, 15 to 20 plus elite Heian sorcerers, so this is at least bare minimum Uro level, including Uro and Angel in this count though. I shouldn't say Angel, at least Uro level. And Sukuna could have been, so this is like a maybe, could have been fighting between 20 and 50 sorcerers. Like, this is really hard to tell. It could be even more than 50 to be honest. By the way, not elite though, like the elites, like I was like 15, 20 would be about like how many were elite. But in terms of like just sorcerers, and they have been strong. Like, average Heian is still very, like, way stronger than modern day. It should be at least 20 to 50. Again, it could be more, it could be less. Very likely not less, very likely not more. Like, it seems it would probably be within this range. And Sukuna still won. Like, the point of this thread is that Sukuna is a monster, man. I hope we get to see that fight. Even if it's just one beautifully made double page spread, that would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome. Alright. And now the actual chapter itself. Right, I need to see this. I need to see that. Gege ain't doing it. Maybe. All right, let me put the image up as well. Like Gojo domain expansion. This is what I want to talk about. All right. Kaio Breeze as well. You know, here I am. This chapter was incredible. I think all the Todo stuff was really awesome. It is a bit not a bit, to be honest. It is a big shame that it gets overshadowed by all the Gojo stuff, but it was just phenomenal, like seeing Todo back in action. I love the instrument on his hand and all that stuff. I think it's like awesome. I know some people don't like it. I thought it was an awesome design, awesome explanation. I love like quirky things like that, but let's be honest, not many people want to hear about the Todo part. Maybe I'll touch upon that at the end. What people want to hear about is the 9 theories. So what I think is going on is, okay, I'll say this now. Purely as the most interesting option, like, I think this would be the most, like, bad writing or not, the most interesting option undoubtedly would be if it's really Gojo, like physically. The most boring option is if it's just a ghost. Like, okay, you know what? Most likely it's that. Like, if it's an illusion, that's pretty boring. If that happens, like, none of you can deny, even if you don't want it to be the like really Gojo there physically, you can't deny that if it's really just an illusion or a ghost and it just vanishes in the first page of the next chapter, I mean, it is so much more boring than had it really been Gojo there. Like, Gojo just starts like fucking up Sukuna or something, right? Again, I'm not talking about if it's good or bad writing. That's a different conversation in and of itself. Again, in my own opinion, I think it's more likely, like it's leaning towards it just being a ghost, especially with the translation as we have here. What then befell Sukuna was a vision of a man who, sorry, not who, I don't know where I got it from. What befell Sukuna was a vision of a man he had buried with his own hands, the departed spirit of the strongest. There's no mistaking those eyes. Interestingly, I think I was actually, okay, I don't know if there's like maybe someone who's like a couple minutes ahead of me, but I'm pretty sure I was the first person as well to point out, let me show, that that line was made with Kashima. Where did I say that? Where is it? Here. So this is what I said. What Sukuna stole is the strongest ghost. Sukuna also called Kashimo a ghost. And I didn't know this, but this really backed it up more. In the Japanese, it's the same word. So what the narrator says here, the departed spirit, which is what also the Viz says, the departed spirit, same word. Like in the Japanese, it's the same word, ghost, or departed spirit. And I specifically says in the this video. So in this video I made, which was made like I think like 2 or 3 hours I posted or something like that after the chapter came out. I talked about it in there. Interesting, that's a really good theory, I think. So at the time, it got a lot of pushback, but I think now that the TCB translated as the departed spirit at the same as Viz, and the fact that like people have pointed out, which I didn't even know, but I said anyway, that it's the same wording in the Japanese. Now people are like starting to lean into the theory, which I like, because I really love this theory. As for the 3 theories on if it's a ghost, one, it's just Takaba. Like, Takaba's entered the fight and he's messing with Gojo, creating illusions. We know Takaba, he's just a reality warper. He can create living people. He can actually create people into the living world, with his curse technique, and even affect people, their consciousness, how they think. I mean, he can just create something that you can physically see. He's done like hundreds of people like that. I mean, he created a whole audience, for God's sake. And people that talk and that like have consciousness and make jokes and like have emote. It's really crazy. But that could be like Takaba. Easily, it could be Takaba. Option 2, right? For the now, there's 9 options. 3 of them are if it's a ghost or illusion. Option 2 is Sukuna is getting close to death. He's on the verge of dying, and what he's seeing right now is like Gojo. He's like seeing, like as he gets closer and closer to death, he'll begin to see Gojo's ghost more and more. Almost like we've seen this a lot in fiction. Like this has happened a million times, especially in anime. Like, it happens all the time. Like Konosuba is like an example that just came right to my head. Where, or like JoJo's. No, JoJo's a different case, to be honest, but you get what I mean. How, like, you know, as Sukuna's getting close to death, he's seeing Gojo's... And as Sukuna gets closer and closer, he'll be like, Gojo may vanish next chapter, but as, like, he takes more and more damage, he'll be seeing Gojo more and more. And maybe Gojo will become, like, more visualized and more, like, you can see him more clearly, because Sukuna... Oh, sorry, the image is covering tips anime. Whoops. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated, 79. Maybe that's what's going on. That's option 2. So we had Takaba was on, we had Ghost, like actually Ghost, and Sukuna's like getting close to death as I was saying too. Or number 3 is an illusion. Like this sort of ties to the Takaba one, but if it's not because of Takaba. So Sukuna, sorry, for whatever reason, is seeing an illusion of Gojo. So it's not a ghost, but like it's an actual like illusionary technique that someone's performing. As for whose technique it could be, this is other than Takaba, of course. I gotta scratch my head, I'm not too sure, but it's like not an impossibility that like maybe another sorcerer is coming, or a new one, or someone we know beforehand that's like got a new technique or something, like upgraded their technique, is somehow creating an illusion of Gojo being there. Aizen Sasuke, that's pretty crazy. Nobody else noticed Gojo, by the way. I don't think that's a good argument. Like you can see on the page as well. And you know what, I should take that back actually. It's a decent argument, but not it's tough. It's tough. I'll say like, I'm 50-50 on that. No, actually no, I'd say I'm 75% it's not good, 25% it's good. The 25% comes on if it's Gojo is the one saying domain expansion here. Because look, Sukuna's about to activate his domain. Someone says domain, which I initially thought, it was Sukuna, but it's like Sukuna reacts to someone saying domain expansion. Then it reacts and then he looks. But it could be Sukuna says domain, but then he just like naturally him seeing Gojo catches his eye, and that's what he sees. Like this is Sukuna, but before he can actually cast it, like Gojo catches his eye, which would make sense since he's about to cast it. Okay, if you think, both could be true to be honest, it's tough. If you think this ghost or real Gojo is the one saying domain expansion, then it's really weird how Yuji didn't turn his head. It's like, bro, you just heard Gojo's voice. You heard Gojo say domain expansion. You're not even going to turn like Sukuna did, but you didn't? Then it's weird. But if it's Sukuna is the one who's saying domain expansion, then it would make sense why Yuji didn't see him. Like, Sukuna just happened to see, like, he caught Sukuna's eye, but obviously Yuji isn't looking that way, and that's why he didn't catch Yuji's eye. He's focused on Sukuna. So, if Sukuna's the one saying domain expansion, then it makes sense why Yuji didn't turn his head. And if it's even if Gojo is the one who said domain expansion, if it's a ghost or an illusion that only Sukuna can see, they would still make sense why Yuji didn't see him. Because if it's something only like Sukuna can hear and see, then even if Gojo's saying domain expansion, why would Yuji turn his head? He can't hear or see Gojo. Like, only Sukuna's seeing this illusion or ghost. So, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much that comes into it. And it's like, if this is true and this is true, then this means that. Like, there's like it's so many different ifs and ifs to come to like X conclusion. Like, this is kind of like the beauty and insanity of it. And it could even be that Yuji like did hear him, and we couldn't even see Yuji. Like, maybe next page Yuji turns his head. Like, he just happened to not turn it here. Like, Gege could do that. He's done that before. Like, he's really done it before. Like, so there's a lot of reasons why Yuji wouldn't have turned. Again, he couldn't hear the ghost of Gojo, or it's Sukuna saying domain expansion, or he's just going to turn his head next page. So it's why I think that's like, it's a decent argument. It's not even decent. It's not that great of an argument saying Yuji didn't turn his head too. Like, there's so many reasons for it. And I mean, again, next page you could turn his head. Or it could be a ghost that he didn't hear. Or it could be Sukuna saying domain expansion. It's tough. It's tough. But those are the three theories, I think, on if it's an illusion or ghost or taka, whatever. Like, those are three. The sixth theory is on if it's really Gojo, though. Like, if it's physically there, I'm saying it's going to be true, which I think there's a chance. But if it's really there, then I think there's 6 different possibilities. The first one, the one that you've heard the most, binding vow. You know, he made a binding vow on the brink of death to, like, maybe lose an eye or nerf himself forever. Like, whatever the condition, it would be a crazy condition, so that he would resurrect himself. Not the first time we've seen something like this. We saw in Hunter x Hunter, which Gege has said multiple times that is what he has based JJK on. Like, he's got the past from there, he's got like a lot of art inspiration from there, which is awesome. I love both series. It's cool that he's done that. So it would be like very reminiscent of what Hisoka did. It's not impossible. Definitely not impossible. And like, the binding vow one is like very likely. There's so much that goes into it, and also it would fit. Like, it would be pretty funny because Sukuna killed Gojo with a binding vow, so he brings himself back with a binding vow. I think in that sense, it would be really fair. I think that's probably, if it's physically Gojo, I think that's the fairest way you can bring him back. Because then he'd be nerfed, like he's lost his 6th eye, or he's just weaker, like way weaker. If he's heavily nerfed, and it would make so much sense in the story, and it would just be so nice. Because, like, if you're going to kill him with a binding vow, then of course he can revive himself with a binding vow. I think in terms of what's the best writing, if Gojo is physically there, like the best outcome in terms of from a writing point of view, like regardless of if you think that's good or bad writing to begin with, undeniably I think it's if it's a binding vow, right? And again, Gojo could come back weaker, which would tie into what I was talking about earlier in the stream, how I was saying, earlier in the stream in case you missed it, like, Gojo does come back, I want him to be nerfed so he doesn't like take away from Yuji's spotlight, or he can play like a duo for Yuji and he can just like support him. Something like what Todo and Yuta were doing. That would be awesome. And Yuji still gets the final blow. That's the most important thing for me. The second theory is that Gojo turned himself into a cursed object. Now, the cursed object theory is I think is like oddly very likely, specifically because Gege has never explained it. And I feel like maybe Gege tends to not explain things when he wants to use it later on. Like, for example, like the conditions of a binding vow, how Sukuna did X, Y, and Z. Like, think about it. Right here, okay, we know that there are 3 people who can turn themselves into cursed objects. There's Sukuna, there's Kenjaku, and there's a sorcerer who turned Drove into a cursed object, like from 2,000 years ago. You could argue that maybe it was Kenjaku who did it 2,000 years ago too. That's possible, but it's unlikely since it seems like Kenjaku's from the Nara period. But I do love the theory that like Kenjaku was the first sorcerer, been around for like thousands and thousands of years. But again, unlikely because Kenjaku himself said like 1,000 years is how long he's lived. So whoever it was who did it for Drove 2,000 years ago, that person for somehow like 1,000 years before the Heian Era was able to turn people into cursed objects. Point being, there's only 3 people who know how to do it. The mechanisms, the how and the why and the what you need to like the actual, like, again, the mechanisms and the concept is the thing that seems to have like a lot of sorcerers struggling, and we don't know that. For like, we don't know a single thing about how you turn someone into a cursed object. We don't know a thing. I mean, even Hana was like, yeah, none of the incarnated sorcerers have a clue, or we would have never made a deal with Kenjaku. Angel, sorry. Like, even after all those people turn into cursed objects, they still don't know how to do it. Or Angel would have put themselves in a new host. But Sukuna, like, we see Sukuna, the how and the mechanisms, like, that doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't matter. The fact that it's not been explained really, really helps Gojo's case from coming back. Because, like, Gege is specifically not explaining it now, so that when Gojo comes back, he can be like, yeah, Gojo's back because this is how cursed objects are made. And you wouldn't be able to deny it because we've never, like, gotten an explanation on it. It would be the first time we got an explanation on it. And here's the second reason why this is likely. When you, as we can see, Sukuna, sorry, in real time turning himself into, oh, I'm sorry, I'm blocking the screen as well. I should have done that. I should have hit that. When we see him turning himself into a cursed object, a second. Finger glows, it's a cursed object. He rips it off instantly. It seems like even before he ripped it off, like, it's already a cursed object. He just obviously ripped it off to feed it to Megami. Like, do you see this? Is that even a second? He made his finger a cursed object in like a split half a second. So the point of what I'm trying to say is, if Gojo figured it out, it's not like this long process where you like need to do this, that, and the other, or it's not complicated, it's not a lot of time consuming like that. It is a half second process. So if Gojo did figure it out on the brink of death, and let's say he turned his eye into a cursed object, or, because that would be a very thing, a 6-eye cursed object, at least in terms of time, it would fit. So for that reason, I think, second theory, cursed object. So we're on theory 5 right now. So number 6, right, would be, and this is the third theory of the 6. What was I saying? I just kind of lost my train of thought right there for a second. It's number 6 of the if it's really physically Gojo, right? That's the thing. Is if it's Ino summoning Gojo's soul from the out. Like, this theory, I can't even lie, it's gonna take a minute. If you want me to explain it, like, just let me know right now in the chat right now if you guys want me to explain that theory. It's gonna take like 10 minutes to explain the Ino soul, because it sounds wild when you first hear it, but it surprisingly makes so much sense, and I think it's like very likely. It's not very likely, sorry, but I think like at least in the verse it makes so much sense. How Ino could really summon Gojo's soul back, which I always thought was gonna be Yuji. I said like 7 months ago in a huge video, but could be Gojo now. If you want me to explain it, just like let me know. All right, and I will. I don't want Kenny. Oh, that's the last thing I was gonna talk about. Itadori Sukuna. What's wrong with Kenjaku taking over Gojo? Explain. You know what? I'll explain at the end, because it's gonna take so long to explain that one. Remind me. I'll remember myself. I'll explain the Ino theory at the end. So yeah, so theories number. Wait a minute. We have those 3. That was 6. That wasn't 5. That was 6. So the last 3 theories are Cursed Spirit, like someone just said in the chat. Kenjaku taking over his body, and what was the last one? Wait a minute. Oh, this is why I should never do this on top of my head. Wait. So, okay. It's just in terms of the 6 that are physically Gojo. We have Cursed Object. Okay, I'm gonna count my thing. Cursed Object. We have Kenjaku. Actually, Cursed Object, Binding Thou, Bow. Kenjaku. Oh man, what was the last one? I kind of forgot. Did I tweet about it? Let me check this. I tweeted 5 of them. Yeah, I should be on my Twitter actually. Wait a minute. Twitter. Oh, that's the most. That is what it is. Let's see. Gojo. Here we go. Ah, right. Funny enough, the most popular theory is the one I forgot. Reverse curse technique. So the last 3 would be obviously, you've heard this a million times. Reverse curse technique. Shoko was said by Gojo, like, Sukuna, sorry, wouldn't be enough to heal Gojo because it's only half as strong when you're healing someone else. But like, people theorize that Shoko is boosting, Utahime, sorry, is boosting Shoko's output via her dance. Gakuganji could have played like a little song for them as well, and that boosted her reverse curse technique enough to heal them. Kenjaku body swap theory, this is wild. Because like, for this to have happened, it would mean in just the short few minutes we haven't seen the main cast, like ever since Sukuna's used his domain, because that's when Miu would teleport in, Kenjaku in like a short few minutes somehow got to the main HQ, like soloed everybody there, and took Gojo's body. Which is unlikely. I think I think it'd be cool, but the explanation would. Gege better give a good explanation if it's Kenjaku. because currently Gojo's body is with the main cast at main HQ, and of course the Cursed Spirit one. This is a bit tricky because Gojo was killed with Jujutsu. He was killed with a world-ending slash dismantle Jujutsu technique. But people are sort of arguing that, wait a minute, Gojo kind of bled out, didn't he? He kind of bled out. I would say, does it even matter? I think technically he still was killed via Jujutsu. A curse technique killed him, and I think by the laws of Jujutsu he just wouldn't come back. It's not possible that he's a cursed spirit, but I just think I do think he was killed by Jujutsu. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's okay. But that's why I think the cursed spirit is just unlikely. I get it, he bled out, but he was bled out by being killed with a Jujutsu technique. Hey, Soul, appreciate the 5. Much appreciated. Love the Michael Jordan profile picture. Love that meme. Classic, absolute classic. Timeline-wise, it makes 0 sense. Kenjaku got him. Mew was at HQ, yeah, exactly. Mew was at HQ. Mei. We got to see Mew and a Crow as well. Yeah, Mei's Crow right now is good. And Mei's Crow is helping just now, Todo. So, it's not impossible, but I just think it's super, super unlikely for that reason. It would have been less than a minute. Kenjaku, he enters. Wait, no. But it's because the Crow was just there seconds. The Crow was active and doing what Mei wanted to seconds before we saw Gojo. Unless Mei escaped the main. No, it doesn't make sense. It's tough. There could be maybe Kenjaku sneaked in when they weren't looking. And they put Gojo's corpse to the side in a side room, and he just took it. I guess, it's tough. It's tough. I appreciate it as well. Again, Soul, appreciate the 5, and Godly Entertainment Live, much appreciated for the 5. That rhymed unintentionally. Much appreciated. What if Sukuna is seeing Gojo's soul because he's losing connection to Megami's body? Sukuna's body may be on the verge of getting ejected. See, I remember this was a talking point a long time ago when we first found out how Yuji was actively splitting their soul apart, and that was their goal, to free Megami that way. If the theory goes, I don't see it being the case where it's even if Yuji completely shatters the connection between their soul, I think all that would happen is Megami would just take control. I think Sukuna's soul would still be inside. I mean, unless Yuji is able to split it up so much so that a Sukuna finger's you know how Gohan in Super Saiyan 2 punched Cell and Android 18 spat out and Cell de-transformed? Unless something like that happens where Yuji's damaged the soul, or he's affected the border between Megami and Sukuna's soul so much so that Sukuna just vomits out a cursed finger, a Sukuna finger, and he just it de-transforms back to Megami, and there's 20 fingers right just lying there. I mean, maybe, I guess, but I mean, the interpretation I've always had is what would happen if they go all the way with Yuji's plan is Megami just takes full control of Sukuna's body. That's what I think would happen. So yeah, again, Soul and Entertainment, appreciate the 5. But yeah, as for Sukuna seeing Gojo's soul because he's losing connection, I think it's more so he's seeing if it is he's seeing a ghost, I think it's more so because he's just coming closer to death. Sukuna's actually dying. Less about the connection and just more so Sukuna's he's cooked, man. This guy is taking so much. Absolute unit. What about Angel can free him? I mean, yeah, they did explain Angel probably could, but with the help of Yuji though. Angel wouldn't be able to do it alone. Man, what is bro? I know you're missing a hand. You don't get Hana in danger, but Sukuna's so nerfed. Just bring Hana in. Hana can still use her curse tech. Just keep her high in the sky. Have some protector. Genuinely, if she's high, what is Sukuna? I mean, Sukuna can step on the sorry, he even did this chapter. I mean, just have that's tough actually. Yeah, Sukuna can step on the end, shoot out dismantle. I mean, okay, wait. When Sukuna had technique burnout, this was a perfect time to bring out Hana. Sukuna is nothing. He had no domain, no curse technique. He got it back at the end though. He had absolutely everything was nerfed, absolute hell. He's on the verge of death. Bring out Hana now. I mean, at the beginning of the Todo fight is when they should have brought Hana. Now, Sukuna's got his technique back. Now it's I would say it's too dangerous to bring her back now. She can still use a technique. She doesn't need to fight. She just needs to be in the sky. Activate it once. Sukuna's cooked. Hollow Wicker wouldn't nullify damage. He's just gonna keep taking it. Then Yuji able to do his thing and once again try and split the border. And you even have Todo. Yuji could bring Todo in as well, and they could both just try talk Sukuna out of it. That'd be pretty crazy. Man. oh man, like this chapter, man. Oh, the theories that came out of it. It's been so long since the community as a whole, from what I've seen, has been like theorizing like this. I feel like it has been an age since I've seen the fan base theorize and talk about, like make theories. It could be this, that, which I absolutely love. Like just from that point of view, I think this has been phenomenal for the community and the community's health. Like we're finally away from so much like the same old talk, or just not even that much talk about the story, and just getting some. KK gave us homework. That's pretty funny. He pretty much did, didn't he? Which is pretty awesome. Again, as a YouTuber as well, like I love to see him. Man. It gives me a lot to talk about as well. But just as a fan in general, and just seeing the community, it's done quite a lot for the community. I really like to see this. Imagine Sukuna tries to trick Yuji like he tricked Hana back then. Yeah, Yuji's not falling for it. Unless like because Yuji would be aware as well, because he's sort of seeing an inside of the innate domain, so he can see Megami. He would be aware if Megami's taking back control. And then that would be pretty funny though if he tricked him once again. Like, yo, Yuji, you saved me. And he's like, yeah, we did it. I pray to God that doesn't happen though. Hey, Al, good to see you, Al. Good to see you. Kaio, what is... Oh, sorry, I just misread that. Kaio, what if it's Gojo's domain and he uses it to immobilize Sukuna so Yuji can swap in and they can have my beloved innate domain fight? We were talking about this before as well, just before you came in. How this seriously, like, who says domain here? There are so many different possibilities, so I'll briefly go over it again, like, because Yuji doesn't look that way. The issue is like, if Gojo said domain expansion, why doesn't Yuji look that way as well? There's a like, if it's Sukuna who's saying domain expansion, then it would make sense why Yuji doesn't turn to look, because then the reason Sukuna's like noticing Gojo is because it's in the corner of his eye and not because he said domain expansion. If it's Gojo who said domain expansion and only Sukuna noticed, it would like hinder the idea that Gojo's physically there. It would sort of boost the idea that Gojo's there as a ghost or an illusion, because only Sukuna's hearing this ghost or illusion, and that's why Yuji's not hearing it. So, because if Gojo spoke, if Yuji heard Gojo speak and say domain, his head should like turn. It turn right away. But maybe the reason Yuji's not turning if Gojo's the one who's saying it is because only Sukuna can hear the ghost or illusion of Gojo. But you can make the argument simply that Yuji's too locked in. Like, if Gojo is physically here and he's the one saying domain expansion, like Yuji, in this moment, he's too locked in to, I mean, look at this. Look at this. Black Flash. Like, look at his face. He is locked in beyond locked in. Look. Black Flash, the concentrations off the shot, actually like silhouette. He looks terrifying. And then you see him scream as well. He is locked in beyond locked in right now. So that's why it could be possible that it could be Gojo saying it in the physical world, but Yuji's not immediately turning his head. So maybe the next page of the next chapter, then we see Yuji turn his head. Like it could be something as simple as that. Or it could even be like Sukuna's the one saying domain expansion, and that's why Yuji didn't notice Gojo. Because if Sukuna's the one saying domain expansion, Sukuna only noticed it because of the vision, then of course Yuji wouldn't be in that line of sight, so that's why I didn't see it. There's so many different possibilities, like that's sort of the craziest part. But if it is Gojo casting domain expansion, like to go back to what you initially said, the whole point of what you're saying, I think it'd be pretty funny. I made this meme where it's like Yuji accidentally gets caught up in Gojo's domain expansion because it's just within range, and Yuji just gets brain fried. Because I remember, this is pretty interesting as well. Because this is something you specifically pointed out, so I didn't know this beforehand, so shout out you for this. Like, it's pure coincidence that this is something that you had said before. If I'm not mistaken, Al, you said that the reason Yuji wasn't affected by Yuta's infinite void, which he should have been affected, is because they were the two who had swapped their souls. So because they had swapped their souls, I can't remember the exact explanation, but it was like the domain counted Yuji sort of like Yuta as well, because they shared the same soul. So because of that, Yuta was aware of like Yuji's thing, and he's able to exclude him, from the domain expansion. He wouldn't have been able to exclude other people. It's only because Yuji was one of the people they swapped with. Really cool theory. And see, that's the issue. If that theory is true, which I do think is true, then it'd be like Gojo wouldn't have enough control to... you know what? What am I even saying? Didn't Mahito specifically choose to not include Yuji in his domain? right when he was standing, he was point blank. I think he was like half a meter away. He's getting punched by Yuji as he casts domain expansion, but he's able to like push him out of the domain. He's opening the domain with his like hands. I guess it wouldn't be impossible if like Gojo activates domain expansion, if he's still not able to, because like the only reason Yuta is able to not include Yuji in Infinite. I mean, Yuta didn't even activate Infinite Void, so that point doesn't even matter, to be honest. But I guess like maybe Gojo runs up to Yuji as the domain's being cast and touches him. Todo gets something like that. But again, he could just do something like Mahito did and sort of exclude him from the domain. I don't see, if Mahito could do it the first time he's casting the domain, there's no reason why Gojo is casting a million can't do it. Yes, people cook me for saying that. I thought the Yuta one was like excellent. I can't believe people push you for that. I think if Yuta is able to exclude Yuji from his domain shot hit, surely Gojo can as well. I mean, I think, again, it's only if they share the soul, because he wouldn't have traded his soul with Gojo, because we know it was with Kusakabe and... No, yeah, it was Kusakabe and Thingy as well, if I'm not mistaken, Yuta. But again, Gojo could just exclude him. Simple. Like, just like Mahito did, like, have the domain not catch Yuji. Which, I guess, like, something sorcerers can do. They can decide specifically who gets caught up in the domain. Hey, Restless Gambler, good to see you, my guy. Good to see you. It was the domain's barrier itself in the manga that Mahito pushed Yuji with. I guess I see what you mean. So you're saying because like Yuji's sort of bad angle, I guess, okay, I'm now trying to think, like, if Gojo cast domain, yeah, it would expand that way. I wonder. Wait, what if they all try to run away when Gojo casts domain expansion, but Todo boogie woogies in it? He just boogie woogies him with a rock that has cursed energy next to him. And he's like, oh shit. He just throws a rock in that. I mean, that could happen. That would be hilarious if that happens. I can have my innate domain fight. That'd be awesome. Good to see you though, Al. Good to see you. And Rasmus Gambler as well. And Alonze. I like the theory of why Yuji was excluded for swapping. Oh, that theory. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think Al is like the... again, I haven't seen anyone else talk about it. She's the only person I saw actually say that theory. No, I'm saying like Mahito excluded Yuji by pushing away the barrier. I kept... No, I agree. That's what I'm talking about as well. I agree. Like, so wait. Are you saying... Wait, yeah, I think Gojo could do that. I know, like, they're standing next to each other. I think he could, like, he could choose that his barrier only pushes... I think that's what he's saying as well. Sorry if I'm, like, misunderstanding you, Restless. I think that's what he's saying, right? I think we agree on this. Or are you saying the opposite? Yeah, we are saying the same. Gojo can most likely just say, yeah, we do the same. Same thing. Boogie, I mean, even if they both try and get out of it and just quickly dodge the expansion, Todo just boogie woogies him back. That would be utterly hilarious if that happens. I would... It's for the sake of comedy, and to see Sukuna's, like, shocked face, like, oh, I am screwed. Just for the sake of that, I hope that's how it happens. If Gojo's physically there, and if he's casting domain. 2 ifs, but it would be pretty cool. Because look at... By the way, I love this. Sukuna's face. Because this was absolutely hilarious. Let me just remove the chat for a second. Because it's kind of blocking out. You know, actually, you'll have for copyright. I'll keep the chat there. Like, you know, Sukuna outplayed completely, goes for the kick, you know, a plan of a plan of a plan, 3 layers of deception. And he just... There's this expression... There's this expression of... I'm cooked. Like, he didn't... It's not... How do I explain this? You know that expression where you just know you fucked up? Wallahi, I'm cooked? Yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. Like, you're not even angry. You're not even sad. You're just like, oh, I fucked up. It's like that face. You know what I mean? It's not like when he was angry at Yuji when he was like getting on his level. He's just like, I just got played. He just keeps that face throughout. Like, it's not like a face of, I don't care. He's just like, damn. Like, damn, man. I just thought it was hilarious how he kept it throughout, like, since he got played. And then even while he was getting here, he was like, yeah. It's like a face that says, man, I miss fighting Gojo. I truly miss fighting Gojo. Like, I'm just out here fighting 50 other sorcerers, getting messed about with Boogie Woogie, Black Flashed I mean, this is Yuji's 8th Black Flash right now. Bit odd how it's not 9, but I guess that missing hand Black Flash ended up 6 ended up being right about that. 6 YouTube ended up being true. He stood on his business with that one. He was right about it being Sukuna. Bro realized he's not built for this. Maharaga saved me. In this moment, he's like, I wish Maharaga was just here to just summon, like when Gojo hit his Black Flash. Thank you very much for subscribing. Plasmid? Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. I guarantee you, man, that's what's going on in his mind. Like, if I had Maharaga, could have let myself slip out of consciousness, whatever. Like, he'll take care of business. He'll pop out of the shadow right here and slash Yuji. But no, there's no Maharaga this time. I feel... No, I don't... Do I feel bad for Sukuna? Man, I mean, I tweet about this. Let me go through Twitter. A recent tweet of mine. Man, I'm loving the Navia OST as well. It's just awesome. Where is the thing? Oh, this Hikari, man. This was... Listen, I love Hikari. I mean, oh wow, no, this tweet is me gassing Hikari. Wait a minute. It's incredible that Hikari is still standing. Stalling, sorry. A Heian Era top tier. I mean, again, guys, Hikari is no joke. And as you all know, I'm sure all of you here, like, of course, you guys know I have never, ever doubted Hikari. I think, like, I'm not even exaggerating. I just think it's true. I think I'm the biggest Hikari fan on YouTube. Like, you know, Heavy Weather, Restless Gam, like, those are really big, like, Hikari fans. I just don't think they're as big as me. Like, Supreme IQ. I think I'm just the biggest fan of Hikari. Like, nobody loves Hikari or defends him as much as me. That's just crazy, man. That is crazy. Right? Restless, are you still here? Like, you gotta get on my level for Hikari Glaze. Because again, I have never in my life slandered him. I have never once. If you get, not gonna say the straight face. Man, funny enough, I got a jokes aside. All right, all agenda and jokes aside, I do got a Hikari video coming out soon. It should be out before next chapter with Restless. Restless will be on it. It is pretty good. I think it's gonna be a pretty good video. I think I can never really tell until it's done. It's really hard to sell videos. Slowly becoming a Hikari here. Oh man. Oh, but yeah, My Hero Academia ended. I won't talk about what actually happened in the ending for the case of spoilers. So if you're worried about, like, if you're watching the anime right now, I will not say what happened. And please don't say in the chat as well. You know, some people might not want to see My Hero spoilers, but yeah, I'll just, again, I'm not gonna kill it, like, stall the stream of this. But yeah, again, I was 12 when I first read the first chapter of My Hero Academia when it first came out. I think it was on Manga Stream. It wasn't even, like, officially out yet. And I remember exactly where I was. I was in our old house. I can't think where I was. And I remember where I was reading it. And I was so much hype for this series, so much hope. It's just wild, man. Like, I was 12 when I started. I've been reading it every week since. Like, now I'm 22 reading it. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. Bro, is it Relic 22? No, you're King. Wait a minute. King D, wait. Because Object Kaio? Oh, man. See, I'm glad. BTB said, wow, yo, yo. Yeah, that's what I love to see. That's what bro, I got cooked. I got cooked. It is what it is. I guess perspective is everything. Bro, 22 on the internet is ancient. That's just facts. 22 on the internet is just a fossil. Like, I'm approaching the end of my internet life. It is what it is. End of an era, it is sad to see. Kinjaku Kaio in the 3rd grade? I mean, maybe. Anyway, this is where I really want to... Bro, Sukuna is... this is just true. Bro, he is going down as one of the greatest final antagonists in shonen history. And I don't mean from a writing point of view. Like, if you want to say... I love Sukuna's, like, writing and his character. I'm not saying it... Please do not take this badly. I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's good. I think his writing is good. But it's not great. And it's not special. Like, I would say it's, like, 2 tiers below special. Yeah, like, there's special, like, all-time special. There's great. And there's good. It's good. Sukuna's writing is good. It's not mediocre. It's not bad. It's good. But I think what makes Sukuna, like, one of the best final antagonists, I would just say in shonen history, is like simply the sheer effort it took to beat this man. Like, seriously, guys. Like, he's 1v1'd the entire verse. He's fought so many people back to back to back, no rest. I mean, like, okay. You know, I think I made a tweet about, like, earlier on about how great it was. Let me get all those Sukuna tweets. All right, wait a minute. Here we go. From Kaio thread, and go over here, and we'll switch that to what did I want to search? Oh, right. So, what should I search? I'll just search history. I'll probably find it that way. I probably said history in both tweets. Effort makes a villain good. Again, like, I gotta clarify. I just explained it. I just explained it. I'm not saying from a character writing point of view. Yeah. In that aspect, I just said he's good. I mean, yeah, good. No. It's not the effort that makes him good. I just think his character generally is good. It's not great. It's not special. I don't know. I just can't see Sukuna being said to like be a bad character. He's just not badly written. It's just not true. I get there's a lot we don't know about him that would definitely flesh out his character. Like he could become a special character, and perhaps if you're comparing him to like the top villains, just standalone in terms of writing alone, then he pales in comparison. Like he pales in comparison to like Meruem in terms of writing, Aizen, like Madara. He just doesn't come close. Like it's just true in terms of writing. But I would say in terms of, again, like just someone just said, how overwhelming his presence is, how much of an obstacle he is, how much of a villain how much of an antagonist he is, like a sheer overwhelming calamity, which is what a final villain is supposed to be. Like with example, My Hero Academia of Shigaraki, or like I think like every manga ever just has a big bad fight with the big villain. I think in that aspect, again, just in that aspect, I think he's just one of the best out there. Am I wrong for saying that? Again, I'm not saying from a writing point of view of a character. His character writing is as good as like these other characters. But, I mean like, 1v all the verse? Oh my goodness. Wait, where did I make that tweet? Let me try and find it. I hope I can find it. Let's see. A good backstory? Yeah, exactly. I think if we get a Heian Era flashback, or just some more depth, on him, I think he could it could even be one chapter, bro. Fuck it, one chapter. He could go from good to great, depending on how that chapter's done. Like all-time special writing, it would take a lot more than one chapter. It'd take a lot to get him there, but it's not impossible. He could easily go there. I didn't say history. Let me say everyone, maybe? Everyone. I'm trying to find that one tweet I made. Oh, look at this. That was my most recent tweet. Not that. Does that? Rize? What is she doing there? Let me see. Seth Rollins. No, that's not Seth Rollins. That is Thingy, the tribal chief. Now I can't remember what I put as the. I can't remember what I said. I can't find the keyword, I guess, which is a shame. But I guess this is the point. The point is, he 1v the entire verse, man. He fought the strongest modern day 1v1. He won the fight with zero rest. Fights 5 different people and a domain expansion. Like that fight ends, Yuta steps in. 2v1 of Yuta. I guess Rika kind of counts as yeah. I guess like 3v1 with Yuta, Rika, and Yuta. No rest. There's no rest or pause in between any of this. As soon as that domain is done, where like, it genuinely nearly killed him. Let's just keep it a stack. He was desperate, as the narrator said, desperate gamble. Immediately, the domain isn't even being done, and he gets stabbed in the heart, and the Maki fight starts. He immediately has to go. And the Maki fight, like, is joined in by there's assistance with Ino and Kusakabe, and he can't even rest because Kusakabe is like fighting him as well. Like, Kusakabe didn't run. If Kusakabe ran away, Sukuna could have had some rest. No rest. Kusakabe fights him. Immediately after that, LaRue and Miguel come in, and then Maki comes in, and then Maki takes a hand. Yuji comes in, Choso comes in, Ino comes in again. Then like he's 1v6ing all of them, like 1v5ing all of them. Then like then he has to fight Yuji. Yuji spamming his black flashes. As soon as the domain's done, Todo comes. You know what I mean? He's just what a lot of people hate about a lot of villains losing, and these are like the best written villains. For example, Aizen. His defeat felt unearned, I think is what a lot of people say, which is pretty crazy because like Ichigo had to give away his powers. So maybe I'm not saying you have to agree with this, but this is generally what people say, like, oh, Uruhara coming in at the end, it was just like plot, he came in, he sealed him. Like, people really hate that ending. But Aizen still like 1v everybody the verse, but the difference is when Aizen 1v like 50 the verse, it wasn't a challenge. It was a joke. He casually walked through all of them, like barely took, I think, any damage at all. Like, Gin got a good shot on him, and it healed instantly. Like, when he fought Ichigo, he was at peak. He was at stronger than he ever was, right? And then on top of all that, his actual defeat was just like Uruhara coming in from behind and sealing him. So as great, Aizen, I would say, is one of the greatest villains. Like, he is so well written, but people aren't happy with his final showdown. But the actual 1v1 of Ichigo is fantastic. I specifically mean the conclusion is what people aren't happy about. It just wasn't as satisfying, is what I hear. I'm not saying I say this. It's just, I'm sure if you're like, especially a Bleach fan back in the day, you've heard this a lot. Sukuna doesn't have this. Sukuna has like gone through these aren't cakewalks. Like each of these fights, some of them are nearly killing him. He's on the brink of death like time and time again. It just feels if we really do beat Sukuna, it's earned. It took everybody's efforts to beat him. I mean, hell, if Gojo like we needed Gojo to resurrect if Gojo's like physically here to beat this man. Like, that's what it took. The entire verse, and then people coming back from the dead to beat him. It just feels so unbelievable.
My best
it's like a Dark Souls boss, is the best way I can say. I think someone said that in Revised History. And Al says he would have killed half the cast in his last domain if it went for Todo. And you know what I mean? Sukuna's insane. He would have, like, that one flame would have killed everyone. If Yuta didn't step in, everybody would be dead right now. If Gojo didn't do what he did, everybody would be dead right now. It's just taken, if Maki didn't, like, stab his heart and, like, cut one of his arms, everybody would be dead right now. Everybody's efforts and Yuji's black flashes and lowering his output, everybody would be dead right now. If we were even missing, like, I'm serious, if we were even missing Maki, everybody loses. We were missing just Maki. If we were just missing Yuji, everybody's already lost. Just missing Todo, everybody's already dead. Just missing Yuta, they're all already dead. Just missing Gojo, like, that's not a fight, they're all dead instantly. Every single character is so insanely intense. I mean, even Ino is like such a viable support in this fight. Removing Maki, guys. Whoa, what is this? Removing Maki changes nothing? The whole reason he can't cast the world-ending slash is because Maki took one of his... Okay, I shouldn't say that for a fact. First of all, Maki taking his heart out, though, is said by Miguel and LaRue. Greatly nerfed it. That alone is more than enough. And she took one of his hands. Let me check. Wait a minute. What chapter did Maki, like, swoop in? Was it chapter 255? I think? I'm not too sure. Appreciate as well. Raging with class. Wait, is that profile picture? Wait, is that the teleport? What was his name from? No, like, I can't remember. It was like Shisui? I think that's Shisui from your profile picture. Shout out you though, Raging with class. Much appreciated for the 5 Canadian. Shout out Canada as well. Toronto Raptors, best basketball team in the world. Much appreciated though. Thank you for supporting the channel. What I like about Sukuna is his unequivocal selfishness. My question is, does he go out screaming and crying like Mahito? Yeah, that is something I was going to touch upon soon as well. The actual ending, Ayo Kaio, Ayo Chat. Wait, did I say something crazy? I don't think I did. The actual ending for Sukuna, if Sukuna goes out like Madara did with Black Zetsu, man, if something like that, where Kenjaku steps in, just stabs him from behind, if it's like a death like that, I'd be kind of ass, I can't lie. But I doubt something like that's gonna happen. Let me see. When Maki steps in, which hand does she cut? So, yeah, the whole reason from this point on and going forward, Sukuna has not used the world-ending slash is due to Maki taking this out. Because to use the world-ending slash, you need 2 opposing hands. 2 opposing ones. Not only did she stab his heart, which greatly has still nerfing him throughout this fight, she has removed his world-ending slash. If Maki wasn't here right now, I'm pretty sure everybody's dead. And by the way, because Sukuna wouldn't need to do like a new hand sign and create some binding vows and nerf his domain, because he would be able to do that, like, because he'd have 2 opposing hands, he'd be able to do the Enmiten hand sign, the Enma hand sign. Like, so he'd be less nerfed, like the domain would have been, the same strength, but maybe it wouldn't have the time limit that it would have had. But beside the fact that Sukuna would have access to his, since this moment, Sukuna has not had access to his world-ending slash. They would have been, I truly think they would have been dead already. If Maki didn't stab him in the heart, and if Maki didn't take his world-ending slash away. Just hand in general, which still hasn't been healed. Like, that's the craziest part. He still hasn't healed this one hand that Maki took. Wild, isn't it? And I'm not just saying, like, it's Maki only. My point is, if you're missing Maki, or you're missing Yuji, or you're missing Yuta, or you're missing Choso. I would even say Choso, because no Yuji, you lose. Or missing Todo, like, everyone dies. They all lose. They all play like a very integral, it's everybody's efforts that accumulate into defeating Sukuna. I think that's what makes him so special as a fight. Again, it's not like with Aizen where, like, everybody that fought Aizen before, other than Gin, just Gin, had 0 effect. No, I think even Gin's was pointless, to be honest. Like, the point isn't matter in the end. Like, when he fought all those captains, 0 effect or even damage on Aizen. When he fought, like, what is it, like, Ichigo's dad, Yoruichi, all these, it had no effect on him. In the end, the only thing that matters is Ichigo fight, like, 1v1ing him, and then Uruhara sealing him. But compared to this, where everyone's efforts does, I'm not saying Sukuna's better than Aizen. I think, from a writing point of view, I think Aizen's better written. Like, that's not even arguable. Like, Aizen's much better written than Sukuna. That's just not even debatable. But I think as a villain, like Aizen was overwhelming as well. That's not true. I just think in terms of like how satisfying, that's the right word, how satisfying it's been as a final fight. Yes, Sukuna's is like, that's where I'd say Sukuna's one of the greatest of all times. In that aspect. How do you think Sukuna's gonna go down? I hope it's to Yuji. I hope it's not to somebody else. As long as it's Yuji and Megumi, one of those two, hopefully both, because I would love if they team up in Megumi's innate domain and they 2v1 him to take him down that way. That would be awesome. I think that would be the most satisfying way to defeat this guy. If it's like Gojo or somebody else, you know what I mean? You can prove me wrong if you want. Oh, to what? Did you say that? Oh, you're talking to somebody else. To be honest, Sukuna went into this 1v everyone. Well, any real plan? I mean, it's pretty crazy though. he didn't even need a plan. He just went in. Fuck it. He did have a plan for Gojo. That's not true. He did have a plan for Gojo, but I don't think he had a plan for anybody else. He just went in like blind. Like, yeah, I'll handle it. He did have the ace up his sleeve for them, the transformation and all that stuff. It is what it is. Yes, innate domain. See, I'll get to me, man. The innate domain, Yuji and Megumi, the two people who are like screwed over the most by Sukuna, and have the most deserving to just beat this guy to an oblivion. It would just be fitting, the main character, the Dragonist, I think as I say it, just together as a duo, defeating him in the innate domain. That'd be awesome. Megumi comes back, game over. Yeah, it's just over. I'm saying before he comes, what I'm trying to say is like, Yuji somehow puts his soul permanently inside of Megumi's innate domain. Whatever happens to his body happens, and it's just within the innate domain, they have like an internal battle with Sukuna. It's very similar to, funny enough, this is a very hate ending, but I think this wouldn't be hate if it happened in JJK. Very different circumstances. Acnologia in Fairy Tail, where there were two battles going on. There was a physical battle happening in the real world of Acnologia, and there was a internal battle happening within Acnologia, in a dream world, and both of the battles were like contributing to his defeat. You know, so like him being damaged in the real world hurt him in the imaginary world, and him being damaged in the imaginary dream world was damaging him in the real world. We could see something similar like that, where as Yuji and Megumi beat Sukuna more in the innate domain, Sukuna in the outside world just becomes weaker and weaker. But I mean, you could argue that if Sukuna's battling in his innate domain, he wouldn't be able to do anything on the outside, because we saw when Yuji went into his innate domain, he sort of wasn't conscious or aware of what was happening outside. When Angel and Megumi and everybody else asked, Yuji, why did you space out for a second? But again, it's Sukuna. Maybe he's built different, and he's able to separate a piece of his own consciousness. That actually makes sense, actually. Wait. Because Sukuna's split his soul into 20 pieces before. So because Sukuna's had that experience, similar to how Gojo when he was in the prison realm, Sukuna could like split off maybe like 5 fingers worth of his soul. So he'd become like 5 fingers weaker on the outside, like split that part of his soul to be used inside of the innate domain, while the other 15 fingers or something is fighting in the real world. That is something that could happen. I think that would be like the best outcome. I mean, just in general, the innate domain battle between Megumi and Yuji and Sukuna, that would be awesome. My bad if that pissed you. I'm not pissed, don't worry. But I think the heart stab was a non-factor, and cutting the hand is something any character could pull off, but any character didn't pull it off. It was Maki who pulled it off. That's the most important thing. I mean, that's like saying Yuta taking Sukuna's tongue, or Yuta taking Sukuna's hand, which was healed anyway. Didn't matter. It just didn't matter in the end, because like Maki could have done it. Or it's like saying Yuji hitting the Black Flash is pointless because Todo could hit Black Flash. Yeah, like it's cool that he did, but it's a non-factor. Like we could have had Todo hit. We could have had Yuta hitting the Black Flashes. Like does it like Yuji's Black Flashes suck? 7 Black Flashes, bro. Yuta hit Black Flashes before. You know, I don't see how that takes away from Maki. And as far as the heart stabbing thing, it's just the fact that it was said multiple times, I think. So at least this is one I remember. It was said once again as well. And his heart hasn't, like, this was emphasized, highlighted by Gege, like the whole panel alone, highlighted. And they're both saying, and his heart hasn't fully healed. I feel bad, like, stealing the gore. It seems like that is an important thing. I mean, even, what's his name? I think it was said by Maki how, like, it's greatly weakening him. When he was fighting Sukuna with a pissed heart, like, it's not as easy. She even questions, like, can you still fight me like that? And Sukuna says, like, no problem. It's weakened him, but obviously he's still strong enough to muscle through it. It's just like how everything, like, Yuji's punches are weakening him, But it's not like he suddenly can't fight anymore, even though he's taken 7 Black Flashes. Like, he can still, his domain's still like, very, very powerful. His physical stacks are still very powerful. It's just chipping away. That's kind of the whole point of it. If you don't have to agree, that's okay. But I just think you're wrong. It is what it is. See, that's where my Limited Void comes in, because it would make sure Sukuna is immobilized and trapped in his... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I guess the issue would be, like, if it fries... I guess, would it be Sukuna's brain or Megami's brain? If it does too much damage or permanent damage on it? That's... I mean, we've seen sorcerers... They have different brains. Maybe they can heal from it. That's an interesting theory, though. Gojo comes in. That would mean the fight is really approaching its end, though. Because if Gojo... I like that theory, but I guess it would make me a bit sad, because that would mean the fight's over, right? Gojo would cast Domain, trap him, and then Yuji goes in with his technique, and it's him and Megami inside the innate domain, maybe even Gojo fighting Sukuna inside the innate domain. I mean, that would be pretty much the end of the... Unless, like, Sukuna just muscles, like, plots his way out of it, like he was done. It is what it is. Now, I agree, the strength feat from Maki and Yuta do Maka. Oh, fair enough. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you don't have to agree, though. Like, it's okay. It's okay if you don't. But yeah, I do think, like, that's why I think it's sort of like everybody's chipping away slowly is sort of the thing that I think is going on. And it is still important. Like, again, if Maki hadn't done what she did here, you know, it's pretty much game over. Where was that? Was it 253? Yeah, I think this was the chapter. Oh, wow, look at this double page. This is beautiful. This is... and it just skipped. Right. Starts off with that and then instantly to Black Flat. That was disrespectful from Gege. Look at this. Phenomenal. But, oh no, she said in the previous chapter, like, can you keep up? Or can you still do it with a broken heart? Well, not a broken heart as in emotionally, but okay, you know what I mean. Only one person's not doing anything to help his I mean, you could argue Megami's still helping. Because, yes, Yuji is hitting, like, he's lowering Thingy's output, Sukuna's output, but you could argue that his output wouldn't be lowered if Megami still wasn't trying. I get Megami, like, gave up at the end, so he was not helping as much as he did, but you could also argue if Megami had, like, fully given up, Sukuna's output wouldn't have been lowered. The only reason Sukuna's output's lowering is because of Megami. Like, Megami, like, even if it's minuscule, like, it's a tiny sliver, like, maybe he's even subconsciously doing it, Megami is lowering Sukuna's output right now. You know, I get he didn't do the big help at the end and he could have ended this already, but, like, Megami, if Megami was, like, truly done for, if his soul was, like, finished, and I mean so submerged that, like, it's not even there, which kind of happened, like, with Attitude of Choso. If that happened, then Yuji's punches would have never lowered his output. But, like, the fact that Megami is still there, like, even though he's been crushed, the fact that he's still there, and he's, like, he is lowering his output. He is doing stuff. I hate when people say he's not doing anything. I get why you think that, though. Because it's one of those things where it's not outright said that Megami's the one thing he's doing. Well, I think this is the heart thing. He's using cursed energy to simultaneously heal and keep his heart beating. Look at this, because she even emphasizes your heart. Can you keep up? Oh, sorry. Can you keep that up while battling me? At the moment, I have no trouble at all. It's less about it not doing anything, because I think it's doing a lot. It's more about, let's say, like, Sukuna is at 90, okay, he's not 90. Let's say he's, like, at this point, 40%. It brings him down to 30. I mean, 30% is still enough to beat Maki. It's, you know, it's like how, again, like I was saying, if Yuji's a really good example. Like, all of Yuji's punches, just because it didn't remove his output completely, doesn't mean it's useful. Like, yes, Sukuna's still got high output, low output, but he still has output. Doesn't mean it's not useful, or it's not been a chipping away at him. It's sort of how I interpret it. Let me, wait a minute, hide the big monitor as well, just for a quick second, because I think, Boku sent me a message. Wait a minute. I think someone sent me a message. Wait a minute. Messages. Here we go. Yes. Alright, let me see what he said. Whoa, wait, this is awesome. This is awesome. Let me make sure I don't leak anything. Wait, I have to save it, because otherwise I leak all my other messages I've had of people, which I don't want to do. I mean, I guess it's okay, but, you know, there's no point in doing that. Let's save that here. And open. Oh man, wait. It's... wait, I have to convert, because I hate Twitter so much, because it doesn't save it in the right format sometimes. Hey, much appreciated for the 5 again. Shout out Raging with Class. I much appreciate the fight. Shout out Canada as well. Shout out Canada, always. The sorcerers fighting what they believe in. Oh, sorry. Let me read that. I'm a bit tired. The sorcerers fighting what they believe is their last fight is inspirational. I might be tripping, but if they had Akari, it might be Raps already. You know, if they had Akari from the absolute beginning, maybe it would have been Raps already. Because like he is a big help. He is like a massive help if they had him from the beginning. Let me go to a converter. I'll just convert to JPEG, and then I can show you guys what Bokuno sent me. Not MP4 to JPEG. Let's go. It's pretty awesome. It's like a Yorozu. Shout out Yorozu. Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Not MP4. Wait. Convert to JPEG. I mean, people forgetting Megami has one of the strongest domains. Oh, wait. Mimura just tweeted RCB. What does he always mean by that as well? Is it like something I just don't understand? He tweets RCB sometimes. Don't know what it means. The punch kick merge when we get back. Akari slander is always welcome. Always welcome. What do you mean it's not support? Bro, what? This is driving me insane. You know what? I'm just going to screenshot it. I should have done that from the beginning. I'm just going to go snipping tool, screenshot, and show you guys that way. If Yuta, Yuji, and Maki need more kicks and punches to beat Sukuna, then Akari is doing nothing. I mean, first of all, I love the agenda. I absolutely love the agenda. Alonso, love to see it. Shout out Yuta Nation. Shout out Yuta Nation. I would do something. It would do something. You know, it's nice to have him. He could tank attacks for them. He'd be more like a tank. Yeah, actually, I think that's a really good way of putting it. He'd just be a tank. He'd do his damage, maybe not too much. It'd be a decent amount, but he'd really tank a lot of damage for the other sorcerers. He'd have been great to have in Yuta's domain. Alright, let me go to... Okay, first of all, images. I can show that. But also, let me go to image. Man, I wish I had a cup of tea right now. Alright, let me go to browse. Desktop. Let's see. Here it is. Alright. Boom. I think you guys can see it. I'm sorry the quality's low. I had to screenshot it, but look at this. Yorozu. This is what I'm talking about. Shout out Bokuno, man. This is awesome. You just sent it to me. New piece. Shout out, man. Shout out. Love to see it, man. Love to see Yorozu. I'm not sure if it's new, actually. It could be old. It could be old. But, I'm not too sure. I mean, maybe Bokuno can let us know. Awesome, though. Love to see Yorozu love. Like, it's just always appreciated. Put this here. Kind of blocking the chat. I mean, it's old messages from the chat. Here we go. As long as a new message is seen. Let's go. It's a head scratcher. Getting injured against Charles. The Charles, and I love it. I love it. The Charles anti-feat. Bro, Charles cannot be more than 7 grade 1. I'm sorry. Like, 7 grade 1 is really, really, really giving Hikari benefit of the doubt. Charles, really, I get it. How, like, Charles himself said, if I didn't get that second of the future when Hikari was playing around in the beginning, I would have just lost right away in the beginning. All I'm saying is, base Yuta. Give Charles 10 seconds. Let him start the fight with 10 seconds. Do you think he's being base Yuta? I'm not saying post-time skip. I think post-time skip Akari base is really powerful. I actually mean pre-time skip. Like, do you think base Yuta pre-time skip is losing to Charles? Even if Charles has 3 seconds, there's no scenario where he loses. Bro, Charles had like 3 seconds. Akari was cooked. He lost. He outright lost the base fight. He's not even grade 1. Charles is just definitely not grade 1 level, man. Oh my god. He might be grade 2. I get it. I get he had the advantage, but like, that's crazy. Heian Era Goat Yorozu. Love to see Yorozu love. Where does Yuta scale in the top 10? Oh, wait a minute. By the way, let me check the poll. I have not checked the poll since I made it. The Gojo. Oh god, 450 votes. Well, vote now, I guess. I'm going to end it soon, the poll. So I guess there's only 10 minutes left for the poll. Yeah, just vote now. Let's try like 500. I am curious to see if it's 50-50. That's pretty shocking. I would have thought that it would have been like the Ghost Joe Gege clickbait, so people being upset with it. I thought that would have been way higher. I thought it would have been like 70-30. God damn. Or maybe my poll's not up to date because I'm seeing like a lot of votes coming. I can't tell if like, because I'm looking at the chat on my laptop, which is really far behind. Oh, RCB is an Indian cricket team? Oh, thank you for that. I just saw that now as like an old message as my laptop's going through the old chat. But, oh yeah, top... Oh, where would Yuta lie? Like, Sukuna number 1, Gojo number 2. Number 3 for me is either Yorozu or Yuta. It's like interchangeable between those two. And then number 5 is always Kenjaku. By the way, I know it sounds like I'm putting Kenjaku below them, but I think the gap between number 3 and number 5, so Yorozu, Kenjaku, and Yuta, is super relative. I think if any of them fought each other, it's like extreme high diff, whoever fights the other one. I think it's like really relative between 3 and 5. So yeah, I got like Yuta, Yorozu, interchangeable between like 3 and 4, sorry. Kenjaku 5, you can have Kenjaku above, that's okay. I think there's good arguments for that, but I just have him at number 5. Yeah, that's my top 5. I feel like ranking number 6 between 10 is infinitely harder. It's so much harder than ranking top 5 is easy. Top 5 is really, you might not agree, but I just personally find it easier to rank. We want our glorious king back. Shout out, man. I mean, Gojo Nation's going hard. 50%. I fear what is going to happen to the community if it's just a ghost or an illusion. I truly, truly fear that, because, like, oh my god. I almost want that just to see the reaction. I want to see that happen. But I would love if Gojo's really back, just to see that reaction too. Because I feel like no matter what happens, the community is going to explode. It's going to implode. I would just love to see the chaos that that spawns from this. Some people will be angry. No matter what, people are going to be angry. Didn't Fake Weed make a video on Kenjaku versus Yorozu? Yes, he did. I thought it was a really good video. I disagree with the outcome. I thought like things being said in the video were really, really good. I would recommend you check it out if you haven't. Highly recommend that video. It's a pretty from a long time ago, but the two haven't shown any new feats, so it's still aged very well. But I have Yorozu winning that. I think he had Kenjaku winning. Don't quote me on this. I know he had Kenjaku winning, but I think it's like high diff or something. I just have, because I still think it's a high diff no matter who fights, but I just have Yorozu taking it. I would even say like, yeah, high diff sounds about right. Because I think Yorozu's way stronger than him physically. Like, she is a joke how much stronger she is physically. But Kenjaku is very tactical. I mean, Yorozu's tactical as well, but I just think he's very clever. He's just very clever, and he does have a lot of tricks up his sleeve and a lot of different techniques. I think those all help him a lot in the fight. So it kind of like sort of balances out in that way. I think it'd just be close, but I think Yorozu would come out on top. I think it's just too strong. It's just one of those things where he just kind of gets cliffed pretty badly. We riding with Kenny? Again, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like I said, I have Yuta, Yorozu, and Kenjaku. Like, I have them all super close. Super, super close. You know? It's a high diff, no matter who you think wins. No matter the outcome, observing the reactions will be the highlight of the next chapter. Again, I agree. See, you get me, Alonzi. Bug suit, bro. Yeah, yay, Morning Star gets it as well. Shout. But yeah, no, with what Alonzi was saying, man, it is gonna be chaos, is it not? Like, if Gojo's not really back, the Gojo fans are gonna be angry. If Gojo is back, the Sukuna, oh my god, the Sukuna, I mean, they're already so upset, you've seen it. People who, not just Sukuna fans, mainly it's mostly Sukuna fans, really, really upset with Gojo coming back. I can't imagine how upset they're gonna, because all of them are like kind of holding it in though, saying, there's like the, I won't say cope, it's sort of cope, but it's a likely cope. It's cope, but it's likely. It's likely to be true. They're like coping with the way like, oh, it's a ghost, it's an illusion, which it likely is. You know, so that's kind of keeping them reined in. I can't even imagine the reaction of Sukuna fans if Gojo is really back. If it's fully confirmed that it's Gojo physically there, like not a ghost or an illusion. Oh my, I'm gonna see people say, I'm dropping. That's gonna be crap. No matter what, it's gonna be wild. Like, he just put himself in a spot where it's like, yeah, it's gonna be wild. Just for the record, even if it turns out to be a hallucination, I saw you tweeting that actually out. I saw you tweeting that how you a lot of people saying that, even what's her name? At Big Daddy Gojo, Bailey. Shout out Bailey, man. Absolute, like, just, she's so sweet. Absolute, like, legend. Alright, she's awesome. And you know what? I feel like best for Bailey. Because she has been, and Al, obviously Al, you guys have been on this Gojo is coming back train. Let me, the ad is crazy. I can't even lie. Bailey, like, the ad is insane. Big Daddy Gojo is kind of wild. I can't lie. Big Daddy Gojo. Like, that's just an ad. Shout out. I'm surprised she got that ad. Like, that is incredible. I'm surprised she got it. Let me show, go down here. And big monitor. Alright, here we go. Damn, Yorozu's. Alright, Yorozu, I am so sorry. You are one of my favorite characters, but you're actually in my top 3. But I gotta kind of shorten it and put you. You know what? There we go. That is about right. Here you go. Let's say that. Yeah, Shao again. Al, Bailey. I mean, they've been on this. I mean, Al was making rituals, like ritual altars for God. Look at this. Bailey's been on this as well. Like, shout out Gojo Nation for sticking all the way until the end. And she was saying the same thing. I think this is what a lot of Gojo fans saying. Like, okay, maybe it is an illusion, but they still think Gojo's going to come back, right? And I think Al was saying the same thing. And I saw a lot of people saying this as well. Shout out. It was awesome seeing Gojo fans take their victory lap. This was hilarious.
Back again, I use my...
Let me pause the music. Oh my god, this was so funny. I had to retweet it. People said Gojo believers were coping this whole time. Now Daoists and Sukuna stans are coping with the hallucination theories. How the tables have turned. It's a glorious day. We rejoice. Believers, this is the day that's going down in history. It's loud as... I know it's louder than me, but...
Back again, I use my back again.
Oh wait, I don't want to get copyright striked because it might have copyright music. It probably does have copyright music. Oh my goodness, you love to see it. So Al made the... I can't even believe it. She said... I see you in the chat as well. She said it right before. I gotta show it. Wait, I had it on my own Twitter. Let me go to profile. I'm keeping this up as well. Shout out to Choso. I'm not keeping it up just for a week. I'm keeping this up for a while. Gotta pay respects for Choso, man. That hurt me. That actually hurt me, man. Damn. God damn, man. But cause Choso, like, he genuinely held like a very special place in my heart. But it is what it is. Alright, it is what it is. He was my Gojo, man. He was my Gojo, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it did hurt. Anyway, where's the here we go. Look at this. What the hell? She tweeted this the night before. Look. No, the day before, sorry. The day before Gojo... If Gojo comes back, just know it was me. What? This is like... insane. Like, please do this for Nobita. Please, Al, we need you to do this for Nobita. If Nobita comes back... Oh my, I'm gonna lose it. That is my daughter right there. That is my daughter. I need her back. I just actually need her back. So please, if you can do this with Nobita, I would very much appreciate it. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget if you do it for Nobita. Please, use your powers for good. That was crazy. That is wild, though. You know, I mean, you did say Gojo's coming back. And no matter what, Gojo did come back. Like, even if it's a ghost or illusion, it still came true. The ritual worked. You know, it's funny because there was a Choso ritual. Like, I remember some person posted like Choso ritual protection circle before Choso died the night before. I was like, damn, it didn't work. Damn it. I guess Owl knows how to do the rituals correctly. Oh man, this was... Oh, I think we're about to hit the 2-minute mark. So for that, let me go to the chat here as well. And I will end the poll here. You can see the chat is like really behind on my... Oh, actually, it's not that behind. Not that far behind because I updated it recently. But I'm reading on my phone. That's how I see it. 500 votes. Pretty much 50-50. 53% said it's clickbait, so it's just a ghost. 46%... Wait, with the math... Whoa. I'm sorry, YouTube. Maths? I mean, okay, you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. 46 plus 53 does not equal 100. I'm just going to say 47% since it's 53 on the other side. Yeah, I guess if it's... What? No, I'm rounding up, I guess, but it's pretty much 50-50, yeah. Like you're saying, the guy. Yeah, it's pretty much 50. That's pretty wild. I can't lie. I was expecting it more to lean towards, you know, it being clickbait or something like that. What is Viz doing? Oh, here we go. Look at this. This was incredible. I love this chapter so much. Yuta does not have white hair? Oh, people saying Yuta, it's Yuta? No, I just don't think it's Yuta no matter what. I mean, it'd be awesome. I don't get me wrong if it's Yuta. I think it's Lonely, right? Yeah, that would be awesome if it... I think it's possible if it's Yuta, if Yuta ate the Gojo cursed object that he made on the brink of death. And we're seeing like physically Gojo because Gojo incarnated. And it'll give Yuta his body back later on. Maybe? But it's just unlikely because the narrative... Like, how do I say this? Let me go to chapter... You know... It's saying it's a vision of the man he buried with his own hands. I guess that could be for Yuta as well if you think Yuta's dead, which I don't think. This kind of seals it though. The strongest. It's implying Gojo. and then saying there's no mistaking those eyes. I mean, I guess if you're saying Yuta got the 6 eyes, you know, it's just the strongest, I guess. That's the thing that hits it. Not impossible, though. I mean, if it's Yuta with the 6 eyes, bro, when did I make that? It wouldn't come true just as I predicted, because I said he'd copy the 6 eyes, but... Oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness, when did I make this video? How long ago? Like, how? I think, was this a year ago, was it even? Or have I gone past it? Maybe it's not that far. It's Kashimo. Okay, that's pretty funny. It's Kashimo. Like, if it really was Kashimo, I am dead. I'm utterly dead. Where? Okay, maybe I've gone too far back, I think. Where's the Yuta 6 eyes? Yeah, I must have missed it, no? No, wait, it's... Wait, am I crazy? Have I missed... guys, I'm sorry if you saw it and I just went past it. Yeah, it must be past... Wow, this is like old kind of... This is like... We were like 2022 is where we're approaching. Oh my goodness. Where? I remember the thumbnail as well. I must have just not like gone by it by mistake. Here we go. Oh my god, I've gone past it. Yeah, you went past it on the left. Yeah, I see it. Sorry guys. 8 months ago, damn. Again, it wouldn't come true like I said, because I said he would have copied it. Now we know, I guess it was half true, because he has probably copied the Limitless, but he can't copy the 6 eyes. You know, there's a lot of evidence for it, but I guess it just ended up not being true. But I mean, hey. I mean, wait a minute. Wait, they kind of look, wait a minute. It's not going to be the case. Again, I think that is the least likely possible. I think there's like 9 possibilities. Yuta would be the 10th. You know, I would say it'd be like the 9th most, which that's like a percentage or something. Maybe even less than a percentage. It'd be awesome if it is though. Like again, I'm not saying because I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying the odds of it happening is it's pretty. Again, I think it's just Gojo, ghost or an illusion or physically there. You know, binding our cursed object. It's Gojo. But we can't deny it's Gojo. Well, I mean, there's a chance. But you know what I mean? I explained it. You miss Kaio Yuta slander. You know, sometimes I miss those days too. But it feels good to be a Yuta enjoyer. It is what it is. Like, it feels really good to hype up and glaze Yuta. Like, it's just good because he wins a lot. He's a winner. All my agendas fail, and you know, Yuta, I tried to curse him, but I realized not only is it possible, but I actually enjoyed, you know, being on his agenda. It is what it is. Man, look at this. What a journey. All the way from the beginning. Damn. Feels good to glaze Yuta. Alright, well, chill. Nah. Agenda. It feels good to glaze the Yuta agenda. There we go. Yuta's Himothy. Yeah, it just feels nice. You know, he's an actual, like, you know, I can't even imagine glazing the Akari agenda. I can't even imagine that. That must be a nightmare. Akari fans, like, in the mud right now. You know what I mean? If I had stuck to Akari, oof, I guess I was always neutral on him. But man, like, all the way in the beginning, and bam. Look at this. I was actually reviewing My Hero Academia 5 years ago, and I won't leak my old channel, but I have an old channel where I did face cam reviews. I did face cam reviews. That was very funny. When I was a teen, it was from like 7 years ago, and some of them even 9, where I was doing My Hero. Pretty crazy. I don't think 9 is, I think I was doing other stuff back then. I was still doing YouTube, but I think those were like 7 years ago. Yeah, I think about 8. It was like live reaction to My Hero chapters. Crazy. That is wild. Kari fans allowed. I saw Kaio's face. He was beautiful. I don't think you have, but you know, if you have, shout. Hey, that's appreciated, you know. Call me beautiful. Thank you very much. Yuji agenda, Yuta agenda. Yuji agenda is number 1. It is what it is. Alright, but now that the poll's ended, and Shao Gojo as well, I think that's all, guys. We've hit the 2-hour mark. I'm tired. I've been awake since 6. It is 8, and I was out all day, and oh my goodness, guys, when I tell you today was a wild day, for so many today was a wild day for so many different reasons. Obviously, I'm not getting into any of them now. Like, today was just wild in general, beside it being busy and I was out all day. In the sun. UK is surprisingly sunny today. I think it's time I go. But it was very fun streaming. I'm surprised I had the energy to do 2 hours. It was fun though. Thank you guys for coming around. I appreciate it. I really do. It was very fun. Everyone, who, you know, if you donated, if you just commented in the chat, or if you just watched, even if you didn't, like, it's just much appreciated. You know, I had a lot of fun. So thank you guys very much. thanks. Yeah, it's nice having you, Al. Mr. 2, Riz Lord, interesting name. Alonzi, BTB, Ashes. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. That was very fun. Plug Princess RM. I see that. Alright, guys. I'm going to end the stream now. Stream ending. I haven't used this in ages, but you know, this does exist. But, yeah, I hope you have a great day wherever you are in the world, and take care.